And what is up? Welcome back. It's Friday night, and you're here with the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I'm here with my boy Brian D. Brian, what is up, my dude?
Yo, what's going on, Chris? How's your week been, man?
It's been pretty solid. Been pretty solid. We're bringing in this December action. We got Spider-Man coming out soon. I'm really excited, man.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's been a pretty cool little fresh of breath air when it comes to the comic book stuff. We had a lot of pretty cool nerdy things happen this week.
Can't
Not
wait.
too bad, not too good, not anything that's it's just fresh
Yeah,
stuff, man. Life's
absolutely.
been pretty good. I want to give a shout out real quick to our previous sponsor, www.eatmetexas.com. I want to say thank you so much, man. It was very, very helpful. Really appreciated the gummies. I'm trying to get a couple more so I can send to Brian. I want to send him some chamoy. I want to send him some fucking trechas and some Mexican candies, things
Nice.
that's hard to get over there in New
Bring it.
Jersey, man. I
Bring
want
it.
to give
Yeah,
him some
bring it,
good
man.
stuff. Uh, you know what? I was going to talk to you and I was going to say, you know what would be a really cool idea?
Tell me.
If we could talk and compare food, like ideas that are in your area compared to our area.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like you can tell us about like badass restaurants that are in the
Oh
Jersey
yeah.
area,
Oh
and I'll
yeah.
tell you about badass stuff like down here in the valley that when you come down, we got to make sure we get.
How are you guys? Well, you brought the golf, right? So you
Yeah, yeah.
guys get pretty good seafood, right? I would
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
assume.
casual. We have to get closer to like I guess Harlingen and Brownsville because that
Okay.
would be where like South Padre Island is.
Okay.
So like South
That's
Padre
cool.
Island is probably one of the most it's for spring or prior before the coronavirus, it was like one of those happening break spots. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't know how it's gonna go this coming year. What do you think, man? You think spring break's gonna go back to normal in 2022?
Hell yeah.
You think so?
1000%.
Shit, I still remember that one dude that was in Jersey. Actually, I think it was like in the Jersey Shore kind of shit where they were like, it was right when the coronavirus happened, and the dude was still partying out
Of
for spring
course.
break. Do you
Yeah.
remember that dude?
No,
Do
everybody was doing that shit. I mean, it was a little bit sporadic over here, but I mean, Texas, it never really closed, dude. So you
Oh
got,
yeah, man.
I mean, it's man, this summer, and I keep saying, and I said it in the other podcasts that I have, the Gym Class Majors
Gym class.
podcast. This summer is going to be a crazy fucking summer, dude.
Well, I mean, even right now, right? I mean, there's a lot of people. You look at all the concerts that are going on. You look at all the events.
Hmm.
You look at shit. What was it that just happened not too long ago? I mean, look at the fucking sports events that are going on. The UFC event, packed
Hmm.
shoulder to shoulder. People are getting out, man. People are getting out and doing some crazy shit, which is, I mean, it's good, but then again, it could be scary because there are talks about new variants and new outbreaks and new things like that. How is it going over there in the Jersey area and in the New York area for the whole entire like coronavirus? Because I know you guys are pretty. I have one of my students that's actually going to be going to New York.
Hmm.
I want to say like in like 3 weeks or 2 weeks, right? And
Hmm.
he said he had to go get all his he had to go get all his shots updated and to go travel and stuff.
Well, I don't know if you need them to travel, but I know they get into like restaurants and things of that nature, clubs or whatever establishments. Once you're
Mhm.
up here, you need to have your cards. So
Wow.
yeah, so that's the only difference between the East Coast with the other places is that they're really, really, really strict on having your vaccination card to get into establishments. So unfortunately, if you live in the East Coast and you don't have a vaccination card, you're not going to be able to eat at certain restaurants, actually any restaurants. Um, Go to any lounges, any clubs, anything of that nature. You can't do it. So
Damn, it's so crazy because like here in Texas, like it's
there's
pretty
none of that,
pretty
right?
chill, man.
Yeah, there's none
You
of
see,
that.
but then again, I don't know how Austin is. Because Austin is probably like the most, I guess liberal, you
Hmm.
would say, like in the sense of like the counties and stuff. It's the bluest county that we have. And it's
Okay,
like the mecca of people that are really
techie.
open
It's
to
tech.
those ideas.
It's tech central, so you're getting people
Yeah.
from all over the place. Yeah,
All over the place.
yeah.
You know what's really crazy? It's like the mecca of people that come from like California and
Mm.
like neighboring states and stuff that are trying to like get out of their states because they don't like the ruling or whatnot that's going on over there. Austin is probably like one of the meccas of that area.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are concerned, like in the state of Texas, that with all of the people coming in from other states like that, they're going to want to vote like the more of a blue state and turn Texas into like a blue state, where Texas has always been primarily a red state because of like the oil people and ranchers and all this other stuff. So, but I
That's
mean,
cool.
that's hard to tell. I know that I know it's really weird to say it. Like, I mean, that there's a lot of people that are, up in arms about how the administration is going right in right now.
Yep.
So, they're not exactly too happy with it, and there's some people that are okay with it. So we'll have to see, I guess, in the next like when's the next election? Like 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. So we'll have to see how it goes.
I don't know about anybody else's reason to go to Austin, but according to Rob, there's a lot of blonde girls out
Oh,
there,
dude.
so that
Yeah,
would
but
be
Rob, dude, if you want to
very
see blonde girls, you just go down to Harlingen too, man. Harlingen got a lot of blonde girls also, man. But yeah, you get a lot more of like the Anglo people when you start going up higher in the state of Texas. So
yeah,
like where we're from, primarily brown. It's just us, the brown people down here, man, because we're like super close to Mexico.
yeah, yeah,
So anybody of any different ethnic race down here is like a superstar. We just want
hmm
to be all their friends because we love diversity down here. So like I always tell people like Brian, dude, if you move down here, dude, you're gonna have a fuckload of friends, dude. Everybody's gonna want to be your friend, man. You're gonna have more friends than I have, man.
That's funny. That's funny.
Hey,
Uh,
how's gym class majors going?
it's going well. We were actually gonna record today, but I've had a hell of a week, dude. Like this week has just been actually just even my day today has been just not my day.
Really?
Yeah, man, it's just been a really weird week. I guess weird would be the best way to describe it. Just a lot of running around, a lot of things happening at once. Um, it's really weird because the way that um I live life is I look at it if it's a situation that's not going to affect my life in a week or a month or 5 months or a year or 2 years, I kind of don't pay it any mind. But I'm human, right? I'm human. But
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it some things just compile and compile and compile, and it gets a little bit too much. So but yeah, anyone that's listening, Rob included, anyone that's listening, anyone that's watching, I want to know in the comments or wherever you're watching this, if you can comment, I want to know what your go-to coping mechanisms for having a bad day. Like, do you guys listen to music? Do you guys like to have a little cocktail, which is what I'm doing right now because it's been one hell of a fucking day? Or do you guys like to go do your hobbies? What are your hobbies? Like, I want to know what I want to get to know the people that are watching the Average Boys podcast, and I want to know what you guys do for a bad day. I'm very interested.
Man, that's a good question. For me, I'm a really big like of course I'm a big video game guy, right?
Yeah,
Like you would assume that I was like a big comic dude that like what I do is like when I'm bored I just like read comics or whatever.
yeah,
Actually, I don't read as many comics as I used to when I was younger
hmm
because a lot of the times the storytelling is almost identical to the way it was when we were younger. So like when a story pops up, there's a big chance it's probably going to be like something prior, maybe in another company or whatnot, but it'll correlate very much like itself.
hmm
Like if you go to like the Spider-Man comics, everything revolves around like the cloning
yeah,
or like the Venom symbiote or Carnage, and it's always kind of like it always correlates with itself. But some of my favorite things that I like to do to unwind is archery. Archery is one of my favorite things that I like to do. So you know how some people go to like the shooting range?
yeah,
Yeah, I like archery. Like,
nice.
and I have my compound bow. I haven't done it in a good minute because the area that I'm in, it's a little bit more congregated with people, so I don't want to be out there shooting a bow and hit a neighbor or something like that and be deemed Robin Hood of my neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like yeah, or
Fucking,
Hawkeye or
you talking
whatever.
to Hawkeye though,
Yeah.
Hawkeye of the Valley and shit. Yeah.
Um, but archery's always a really really fun thing. The other thing I like to do is, of course, just like fiddle and tinker with art. I
Okay.
like to tinker with art stuff, and I'm always building, and I'm always just doing a bunch of random stuff when it comes to art. So
hmm
like this past week, I was getting into 3D modeling with Blender.
Okay.
So what's cool is I think I told you like a couple months ago, a friend of mine like lent me his 3D printer. So
hmm
I've been kind of like tinkering with certain programs, and there's a program called Tinkercad. Tinkercad is a really cool 3D program, but you only can use shapes to create shapes.
Yeah, you were
So
telling me.
like yeah, I
Yeah.
think I told you about it, right? So like if you wanted to do like a cup, right? So let's say we wanted to do this really cool instant ramen cup, tin cup.
Nice
You would
product
start
placement.
with like a donut, and then you would go with a donut, but you would make it thinner, and then you'd make it bigger. But it's all one circle that's like push, but you have to like literally create all of those shapes where
Listen, I'm gonna stop you really quick. If that was some really smart product placement, because you have like a secret, like
sponsorship
a
from
secret
Cup of Noodles.
sponsorship, you're gonna be sending me some fucking cup of noodles, dude. Some
Fuck yeah, I would. I would
I
definitely
fuck,
send you
I'm,
some Cup of Noodles. That's the
I
way to
gotta draw the
do it.
line. I gotta draw the line in the sand on that shit. You're sending me some cup of noodles, but continue. I'm sorry.
Yo, are you like? Let me ask you something, bro. Are you like super gangster about noodles? Like when you make noodles, like do you go crazy? Do you go ham or do you just make them normal?
Nah, man, I go ham, dude.
Do you go
Like
ham? What do you do? Like well,
I
you
gotta
put like
throw
corn, you put
everything.
ham, you
I
put all that
put
good stuff.
corn, I put ham, I put
Oh
bacon, I
yeah,
put
dude.
hot
Yeah.
sauce in my shit, dude. Like depending on my mood, like I go. You can't just have the regular fucking
Yeah, you
ramen.
can't just do that.
Like,
It's
come
just
on,
boring,
bro.
man.
Like, well, like what the fuck is
That's
that?
a red flag, man. If you ever date someone or talk to someone and all they do is make a cup of noodles in the
And they just eat it.
microwave and
Yeah, and
shit,
they
yeah,
just
that's
eat
like
the
red
shit. Yeah,
flag, dude. Just get rid of that person
nah,
so
you got to
fast,
get a
dude.
little bit fancy with it. You know what I'm saying? You can make a little gourmet.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
you
I
get
go
fancy.
all out. I go all out with my ramen, dude. Of course.
That's so rad, dude. Yeah, if we ever get sponsored by Ramen Noodle Chan or whatever, it'd be the tits, bro. That'd be so damn cool.
Yo,
Uh,
you're gonna send me like $10 worth, and it's gonna be like a lifetime supply of fucking
hey, you
ramen.
never know, man. Triggs, our boy Triggs works at a ramen
A
noodle shop,
ramen
dude.
place, that's right.
Yeah.
Yo, I tell you, like, if I do make it out there for the RVD shit, dude,
Mhm.
I want to check out his spot, dude, because
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, man.
it looks
It's
pretty
a
cool.
really nice spot. And you know what they started doing, which is super impressive. The owner, Jason John, right? He's a pretty cool cat. We got to meet him at the Halloween event. Super, super cool dude. They're starting to do like upscale style fooderies, kind of like on like one day out of the week, where the week they sell, of course, their ramen dishes,
Hmm.
but like on a Friday or a Saturday, it's like super only like high class, fucking like top of the line ingredients straight from Japan. Like,
Oh
let's make
shit,
it like the dishes are a lot more expensive, but the experience is like, you got to remember,
top notch.
I'm always telling you, like, I live in a village, dude. Like, the valley, it's like a village. Like, it's super old school. So, like, the opportunity to kind of like dine on this, like the really high class kind of stuff is like super rare. There's a couple of restaurants, but sometimes it's like invitation only or certain dress codes. And, it gets wild, man. I mean, and over there, like in bigger cities, like, of course, you have those type of restaurants, but they're going to be more like, what is it? Not invitation, but you have to reserve reservations, right?
RSVP.
Where
Yeah.
anybody can go, but you need to reserve a table. You know what I mean? See, the valley's kind of different, where it's like, well, there's probably not a lot of people reserving, but you're gonna have to follow a certain code when it comes to
Guideline.
that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wild shit, man. For what they're doing there at Dragon Warrior Noodle. But yeah, going back to what we were talking about, Tinkercad is like this really cool program. It's free. Anybody can get it. You can just jump online and just practice with it, fuck around with it. And it's like, it's cool. It's like a computer version of Legos.
Okay.
And then from there, you can take that file, you can turn it into an OBJ or an STL, and you can 3D print the thing that you create. Which a while back I created a like a really cool like a cyborg mask. It almost looks very
Yeah,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat ish.
I
Yeah, I
remember.
designed that in Tinkercad. Yeah, I designed that in Tinkercad. But what I'm using this week is a program called Blender,
Okay.
and Blender is like the Adobe Photoshop of like all this shit. Like it's like the gangster shit. Like it's like, oh, you want to make video games? You want to make movies where fucking shit's growing on people and all? You're gonna use Blender
Mm.
to make 3D stuff. So I'm kind of self-teaching myself how to do some really cool stuff. And I'm gonna start with, of course, being that I started off building armor and cosplay and stuff like that a couple years ago. I'm gonna kind of start with small little armor builds
Hmm.
and then see where it raises from there. So the thing that I like to build are henna masks, dude. Like the cool like Japanese
Okay.
like the cool masks that the samurais use and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Menpos and stuff like that. I like to build those kind of masks, and those are kind of like what I want to do. And I want to get into doing like cyberpunk, like that aesthetic. You know what I mean? The cyberpunk aesthetic, like the Android techno kind of vibe.
Okay.
But I want to create accessories either for people's like video game
Headphones.
headphones.
You were telling
Yeah.
me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or even like cool ass like just like things that people can wear that look very like cybernetic.
Okay.
and make it to where people can just kind of like every day use that shit. Like, if people are, using like regular like plug-in earphones, like the pods or whatever, but the pod case, like you can put it on and it has like a badass like trill to the chin,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
it comes across and comes to the front of the face and makes it look very robotic. I want to build shit like that. I think like
That
that's the
sounds
future of the
fucking
next movement.
that sounds fucking amazing, dude.
I mean, if you take a chance and you can Google this, type in techwear, TECH wear,
Okay.
and a bunch of stuff's gonna come up where it's like that cyberpunk-esque imagery, like that whole entire like real baggy clothes, hoodies, real big, almost like a Naruto kind of like hoodie. Like it's just really
Oh, okay.
awesome fashion, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really awesome fashion. So I think we're really like with the growth of that kind of like imagery, we're like right on the edge of getting to that ghost in the shell kind of like
I can see that.
fashion, man. Like even right now, like so certain shoes, I know that for some reason, I don't even know why this comes up in my head, but like the growth of the Gundam series. I don't know if you remember Gundam, like the anime where all the big mobile
Of
suit
course.
Gundams and stuff.
Mhm.
Like that imagery has been getting a lot more popular in recent times. I think I promoted a movie last week here on the podcast called Finch, and it kind of
You did.
correlates with like the short circuit and the android look and all that stuff, and then the chappy idea. All that stuff is like a growing thing right now. So yeah, I want to kind of jump at that, especially with the whole entire aspect of all this like NFTs and all this other stuff that's going on. The idea of cybernetic art, I feel, is like on the verge of growing into something a lot bigger right now.
No, I have to agree with you. I wasn't aware of exactly this what like this there was a name for this style of
The
clothing
style of
and
clothing,
such,
right?
but now knowing that it is called tech wear, no, I have to agree with you. Like I've been seeing a lot more of this. You know what I've been just been seeing a lot more of in general is just the Japanese culture.
Mm-hmm.
Their influence on American culture has become very um apparent
Oh, definitely.
in the past couple of years. Um, we'll touch on it a little bit later. We'll like the People's Choice awards. BTS got what did they get? They got Group of the Year or some or Artist of the Year,
Oh
some
yeah.
shit like that. So like there is something going on where we're just being influenced heavily by the Japanese culture, and it's pretty cool, dude, to see. It's
Yeah,
actually
well,
pretty
at
cool.
least the Asian culture itself, because like, well, BTS, Blackpink, all those groups, they're Korean bands.
Korean,
Yeah,
that's what I
because
meant.
those are the
Yeah.
K-pop groups. But even though, I mean, you still have J-pop like Baby Metal. You have a lot of bands out there that are still doing amazing stuff. Um, I don't even know why, man. I think I talked about this at Trigger a while back, but I've casually grown a little bit more of a fan of the K-pop scene. And I blame TikTok. I literally blame TikTok. I don't even have TikTok on my phone. I just get it through Instagram.
Okay.
But the idea that I don't know if it's because of the whole entire like the way we conspire that Google is always listening to us. Me and my roommate and my friends were always talking about like Blackpink or like the drama that's going on with the K-pop, and all that shit will just pop up on my phone for no fucking reason. So then I'm stuck going through just absorbing the genius that TikTok is, where it just gives you so much information in like what minutes to 30-second little shots, and you're just going through each video. And yeah, man, it's
What is
it's
it? What is it about K-pop? I'm not tuned in. I'm not like in tune with the whole scene. What is it about that's become such a phenomenon?
okay.
Can
So
you explain
so
that to
like the easiest thing that I could kind of tell you is that it has a lot of vibe like the NSYNC and Backstreet Boy imagery, like
me?
way
Okay.
back in the day. But there's a
Okay.
like nowadays they've inspired to put a lot more hip hop and style of the street in it.
Okay.
So you get like heavier hits, heavier beats. The rapping is cleaner. There's a mixture between Korean language and American language, which is very like in my culture, in the Hispanic culture, it's very similar to the like the Mexican rappers when they would
Okay.
rap between English and Spanish. Like well, Bad Bunny is one of them right now. That's
I
super
know. I
popular.
know you're
Yeah,
talking
like
about.
that kind of
I
vibe,
get it.
right? So to
Yeah.
hear the culture go from their language to the American language and mix it in so well, and then you hear the rhyming situation, it's almost like it's like poetry almost.
Okay.
but you just don't understand the other parts, right? Because I don't understand Korean. But man, some of the drops, the dance moves, like the way these people carry themselves, like it's fascinating. That's the easiest way to put it. It's more fascinating than it is catchy, because
Okay.
like I said, I just don't understand it. But there's just something visually that catches your eye. I don't know if it's like the colors or whatnot, but then you get into the culture of what K-pop is, and you realize that these are groups that are not just like regular groups. They're almost like positions in the military or positions in the government because of the way the Korean people's government is.
Okay.
So these organizations, like, yes, you're out there and you're a star, but at the same time, it's like a really, really hard job because, like, if I'm not mistaken, is that part of Korea, that's not the communist one, right? They're not communists in that part of Korea, right?
North Korea. I
That's North Korea,
believe
not South Korea, though. I
South
believe
Korea is
it's
pretty
more of a,
liberal. Yeah, South Korea is pretty liberal.
yeah. So, but the way it is I know that the positions in the K-pop groups is like, if you're able to get in that, your life is like 100% dedicated to your group, and you don't really get to see your family as much. And when you get to see your family, like, it's almost like that's your vacation time.
That to me would, and I don't mean to say anything negative about the
Yeah, of course
K-pop
not.
culture or whatever, but that to me, if I knew that piece of information, I could not support that.
Yeah,
Like
and you
that's
see,
what I would say.
that's the crazy part, is that's the scrutiny of it. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that are against how K-pop people are treated, right? And that's the way it's been
Okay.
for years. But it wasn't until recently that I know that the K-pop people, and I guess like that part of Korea, now sees the opportunity for the growth.
Hmm.
So they're allowing these people to have like such more open lives and be more independent and kind of treat them a lot better.
Okay.
So that's why you see, like, I mean, because BTS, like, they're not the first K-pop group. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's been several before them. There was Super M. There's just a bunch of them, right?
I was
Fucking
gonna say
CL,
I'm
dude,
gonna,
CL
I
and
have
G
no
Dragon were
idea.
with Skrillex like 5 years ago. So
Okay.
like they're all part of big groups, and like they've been prominent in the music industry, but it's
Mhm.
not until recently that these groups kind of started coming into like internationals, right?
Yeah.
But that's been the growth from BTS and Blackpink. Those two groups have made it more prominent for the international work, which you have Blackpink, which is an all-female group. They're pretty fucking badass, dude.
Okay.
They're a pretty group, and a pretty badass group. And BTS, of course, like, they're pretty good at what they do, man. They're pretty good at what they do. The dancing's
Cool.
always good. The singing's always on fire. Like,
I wasn't too up to date with BTS and their music, and then I was listening to some other podcast that another person was in the same situation as me,
mhm.
and they didn't know too much about them, so they played some songs, and I'm thinking like, damn, I heard this song. Like, you like subtly you hear these songs, like they're all over the fucking
They're
place, and
all
you
over
just
the
don't
place.
realize that it's them.
Like, I
So
guarantee,
that's
if
pretty
you're
cool.
walking through Target, if you're walking through Walmart, if you're going through like a Whole Foods or something like that,
You're gonna hear
they're
one of those
probably going to be
songs.
playing like a BTS or a Blackpink song. Now, the
Nice.
other groups, they're still kind of out there, like being found out. But with the growth of the K-pop community in the United States and onwards, you're getting a lot more people to open up shops that are dedicated to strictly that music scene. So you're
Okay.
getting a lot more merchandise, a lot more of the albums coming internationally, and they're making bigger impacts, man. They're making bigger. Dude, the BTS group fucking slammed the Grammys or whatever, the fucking music industry, this
Yeah.
past year. They've been
Yeah.
winning like every award known to man,
Yeah.
and they're hitting like double platinum, triple platinum on their shit right now.
That's insane.
It's insane, and that's because they just did, I think, like one of their first tour dates, and it was like in LA. And the way their concerts go is their concerts are like 2 or 3 days long. So like, you go to the concert, hey, what's up? You go to the concert, and it's like 2 days of you just enjoying your band at like a certain time you go to the concert. Can you imagine, dude? Fucking what's like one of your favorite? Okay, me, Wu-Tang Clan. Imagine going to a 2 day long Wu-Tang Clan concert, like straight up 1 day dedicated to
I'm a
one
little
part
bit
of it.
I'm a little bit different. I don't need 2 days. Like, you're gonna get, because you know what it is. I'm gonna party so hard that first night,
Oh,
bro.
dude, fuck yeah. I
So
can't
that
see it
sec,
anymore, like, in my
so that
mind.
second, yeah, that second day, I'm gonna be Wu Tang the fuck out, or whoever the fuck it is.
No,
I'm
but
gonna be
but you
out.
have to remember that the culture has changed, right? Well, not the rap culture or anything like that, but like the way people absorb information.
Yeah.
So like if I'm not mistaken, these guys put on like an event, not just a show. It's like a show.
Hmm.
So like they'll go on and they'll play, I guess, some of their old music one day and some of their new music, and then the next day a lot of their new music. But there's a lot of like intervention, kind of like theatricals that they do on stage, and they
Okay.
interact with the crowd more. So it's almost like
Oh,
a festival, right?
so
So
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so
I
it's
was
it.
thinking. I was thinking exactly that. Like I've learned that when it comes, I'm a huge festival fan. I
Mhm.
love festivals. But I realized that like the whole 3-day thing is no longer my thing. I got 1 day. I got 1 day in me. I got 1 day where I can give it my all, where I can just let loose. I can get as drunk as I want. I can just party as hard as I want, and then that's it. The next week, I'm done. So
Do you
there
think
you
it's the
go.
way that our youth nowadays is like taking in information? Because you're looking at like people in Fortnite that are getting these shows that are like super, super crazy, like just in a video game.
Mhm.
So when you show up to a concert, you're gonna probably expect something that's a lot more grandeur than what the video game can prosper.
No, I mean, I don't really go to any. Well, me personally, I can't really speak for anybody else, but for me personally, I only go to concerts that I'm a fan of the artist itself. So I don't need you to. I mean, it'd be great to have every concert go off like a Drake concert or a concert where there's just like theatrics and shit like that. But I don't necessarily need it. I need you to sing the songs that I want to hear, and then I'm gonna go home and I'll be fine. That's just me
Yeah, that's a good point.
personally. That's just me personally.
Yeah,
I
because I
can't.
mean,
I can't
fuck, I
speak for the
haven't. Me personally, I haven't gone to a concert in years, so I don't even know how my body would even atone to it. But
I've gone to more festivals recently than I've gone to just flat out concerts. Like all I need is to find the one act or the one artist that I would love to go see in a concert, and 9 out of 10 times they're going to be in some festival, or
yeah,
they're
of
going to be
course,
at some, you know what I'm saying, or they're going to be at some concert that's going to have a collective group of people where I can see everyone that I like,
everyone.
people that I don't even know about, and then go home.
Yeah, that's like me with conventions. Like speaking of that, like I'll have like one solid day for a convention. The next day, I'm just like fucking toast,
Shot,
man.
you're
Yeah,
shot.
I'm just shot to shit. I'm just like, dude, I want to go in pajamas and just fucking sit in a
And
chair all
just
day
chill.
and just relax
Yep.
the fuck out. Um, 5 out of 10. What's your greatest concert that you've ever gone to?
Ooh. Personally, it would have to be the Firefly Festival. I think that was 2013 or 2014. It's in Maryland. That concert was great. I got to see Kendrick Lamar before he like blew the fuck up. I got to see Chance the Rapper. I saw Outkast. I saw Paul McCartney. I saw Foo Fighters. I saw that concert I saw Colors. I saw, dude, there was so many indie bands there that it turned me on to so many fucking indie bands. And then again, you got like the top notch. Childish Gambino was there, dude. Like I saw so many fucking people in a 2-day span because I only went to the Saturday and Sunday event. I didn't go Thursday. I got to see Action Bronson. I don't know if you know who
Yeah,
that is.
Action Bronson. Yeah, yeah,
I saw Action Bronson there. Um, it was Imagine Dragons was there
yeah,
as one of the headliners. Dude, anyone that's anybody today and of the past was there. That was
yeah.
a great
I
concert.
think that would probably be close to mine because I got to see Kendrick Lamar at Austin City Limits like a couple of, man, I would say like almost like 8, 9 years ago,
Yeah.
and it was so cool. I was really really excited to see him too. It was right before he hit like main, like he was.
Anybody, Rob brings. Listen, if you get a chance to see Foo Fighters in concert, dude, I highly suggest you checking them out. It it's like literally putting on your headphones and listening to one of their albums. Like it was so fucking dope. Like, and mind you, Dave Grohl had just broken his foot, so he did that fucking set in a chair.
In a chair, yeah.
In a chair with his leg up. That was fucking crazy. And he still had the fucking crowd in a palm of his hands. Foo Fighters is one of my all-time favorite rock bands. Um, if you get a chance, see them. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, there's a really, really good segue to this because you mentioned it already, but we can go right into this. But you wanted to talk about You mentioned BTS, we mentioned K-pop, and we mentioned them winning an award recently at the People's Choice Awards.
Yes.
Let's drop that, man, because I know you wanted to talk about it. You had some pros and some cons about it. People in the comment section, leave your comments if you guys have seen it. But the People Choice Awards is what we're going to be talking about right now. Let's talk about this, man. So I want to hear what you got to say, because I know you have something to say about this.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a little bit more cons than pros, but it was just weird to me how some of the winners came about. So, for instance, I'm trying to bring up the list right now of all the winners, and well,
Let me
just the specific
I can
ones.
send it to you if you want.
No, I should be able to find them really quickly. All right. So, starting with the female movie stars of 2021. I'm
Okay.
gonna go through them really quick. It'll be really quick, guys. Just bear with me. So, female movie stars of 2021. You have Aquafina for Shang-Chi. You have Charlize Theron for for F9. Florence Pugh for Black Widow. Jennifer Hudson for Respect. Leslie Jones for Coming to America. Margot Robbie for The Suicide Squad. Salma Hayek for Hitman's Wife Bodyguard. And then the winner is ScarJo.
Wow. That's well. You know what, dude? What Scarlett Johansson's film took like what was it? The movie of 2021. Black Widow took the movie of 2021.
I was gonna get there, but apparently to the critics or the people,
Best female.
she got best female, and not only that, but Black Widow, the movie, got movie of 2021. Now, mind
That's
you, I can't share the screen. I don't have the capabilities to do so, but I did share in the same chat that Rob, who's watching right now. One of the things that was super weird to me is that um, Black Widow got movie of the year by the people, but it only had, I'm just read off the numbers. Rotten Tomatoes scores it for the critics or for the reviewers, it's got a 79%. From the audience, it's got a 91%. Decent numbers, right?
yeah, not too bad. Not too
Not
bad.
too bad. But Shang-Chi, for instance, got from the critics, it has a 91% fresh tomato score, I should say, and then a 98% audience score.
By
So
chance, can we throw up the Dune scores?
yeah, we can do that really quick.
Because Black Widow actually beat Dune in the movie of 2021, which I think is fucking
Now, mind
hilariously
you,
stupid.
mind you, Dune numbers wise might not look as good. Okay, so let me just make sure this is the same. Yeah, this is all right. So if you guys ever want to know, the 1984 Dune got a 44 Rotten Tomato, by the way,
just in case,
just in case.
just in case you need to know 1984's Dune numbers.
Yeah, but for the 2021 Rotten Tomatoes, so this movie, I think, was at 85%. Okay, so for Dune, you're looking for the critics, you're looking at 83% fresh tomato and a 90% audience score. So, still, numbers wise, from the Rotten Tomatoes, from the critics, and from the audience, Shang-Chi is the best movie of 2021.
Okay.
It's not even close. So it just makes me wonder how the People's Choice put that movie was trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Black
Fuck
Widow
it.
wasn't that great.
Black Widow was trash.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool for what it was, but it was too late. We didn't fucking need it, and it wasn't as good as it should have been to make us wait that long for a Black Widow movie. That shit was trash. For that to win movie of the year, what were the category? Well, I'm interested to know what was in the running for. Do you have that list of what?
The movies for 2021,
Yes.
Coming to America 2, F9, The Fast Saga, Dune, No Time to Die, which is a James Bond film.
Mhm.
James fucking Bond, which is literally what Black Widow's based on.
Yep.
Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, The Tomorrow War, which was a film that was on Amazon Prime, and Venom Let There Be Carnage, which is practically trash.
Trash.
Yeah. But for sure, the top 4 runners up would probably be Dune, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, and of course probably Black Widow. Black Widow would not be my first choice.
At all. Or my
And
second, or my third.
yeah, nor my third. Dune and Shang-Chi would probably be my top 2 choices because I
Yeah.
didn't really care for the Bond films. I haven't cared for them for a while.
That last Bond, I
Was it good
listen,
though?
it was good. It
Okay.
was pretty.
I didn't get to
It was
watch it
pretty
yet,
decent.
but
It was
I
pretty
mean,
decent.
from what I've heard, like people, they talk good about it.
Yeah, it was pretty
And
decent.
and the thing that I know for sure is the James Bond films never disappoint.
They don't ever.
They don't disappoint. They're just great. They're great action films like that. The only thing that I was kind of turned away from was the actor himself said that he was kind of like already like he kind of was showing an uninterest in being in the character anymore.
Dude,
So I
he
was
had been James Bond for years.
yeah.
Listen, Casino Royale, I'll put that movie.
Yeah,
I'll
still
watch.
straight up.
I'll watch that movie 1,000 times, dude.
Yeah.
I'll put that movie up against anyone's favorite movie, and I'm gonna win. Casino
Yeah,
Royale,
definitely.
was fucking amazing.
But I mean, still, Black Widow does not beat Dune.
Doesn't.
Shang-Chi doesn't beat Dune. Like through and through, I think it was a greater cinematic movie. It was a masterpiece compared to Shang-Chi.
I'm probably putting Shang-Chi over Dune
Why though?
because I enjoyed it more. Dune, I needed to know the backstory. I needed to know the lore. I could not get out of my head that I could not appreciate that movie as much as I should
Because
watching
there was
it.
missing stuff, right?
Not
Yeah,
only
because of
because
the
there was
lore,
missing stuff,
right?
because of the lore.
The
Like
lore.
I'm watching it, and it was like a weird out of body experience. As I'm watching it, I'm sitting here saying like, this would be cool if I knew what the fuck was going.
Fuck,
Like
I was watching.
if I was watching.
I mean, I can
But
see that. I could see
yeah,
that because
but that
that's
to me,
probably the only thing is that's overwhelming because there's so much information that's coming at you from all the different angles of the film.
yeah,
You know, the political part, the people that are suffering, the kid, the mother, all the groups that everybody's a different part of. The mom's a part of some witch cult. You know,
yeah.
then she's a mother, and then the father doesn't really give a shit about her, but he loves her, but he doesn't love her. Like, there's just a lot of shit that's going on. Where Shang-Chi's had this time to
Shang-Chi,
like
you
cook,
just
man.
dude,
He's
Shang-Chi,
had a great time cooking.
Shang-Chi, you just strap in and just let Disney take you there, bro.
And you know what?
That's
I can
it. It was
see
like a
that. I
ride.
can see that
It was
because
a
even
ride.
when you think about it, like the action, the
Yeah,
visuals, the
everything,
cinematography of it, like everything
everything.
is just a fun movie.
You don't have to think about nothing. You don't have to think about anything. You just let Disney take you to your destination, bro. It's like a ride. Like Shang-Chi was like a fucking Disney World, Disneyland ride. You just strap in, you let Disney take you where you need to go, and at the end of it, you be like, that was fucking dope.
You see, and then you compare then the two movies then would be Black Widow versus Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings.
It's
Both
not
of
even
them
a
come from
choice.
the same cut of cloth. You know,
Yeah,
both of them come from the same thing, but of course Shang-Chi is kind of it's drizzled with mysticism and spirituality
yeah.
and kung fu and all this stuff.
And Ben
Where
Kingsley.
you have Black Widow that's drizzled in the espionage,
Hmm.
the spy game and all this other stuff. But I think you're right. Like it's kind of like too late to tell the story because you already know what the Black Widow's about. Plus,
Hmm.
you know, her character's not around anymore. So the idea is like, okay, we're gonna watch this movie to see what they're gonna do with whatever comes next, which was the introduction of the sister Yelena.
She was dead by the time she got her
Yeah,
signal.
yeah, it was already too far fetched in length of time, right?
Like the main character in your movie is dead to us.
Yeah.
She's dead.
So
There's no moving forward. There's no nothing behind this. You're watching is just to be watching it at this point.
yeah. Well, I mean, the idea would be like, of course, like the only thing that we get out of that story is, of
As
course,
we're
like
getting Florence, yeah, I get it. We're getting
the Yelena
Florence.
chick, you get a Taskmaster, you get the Red Guardian, you get the introduction of that weird chick that comes out in the end credits, which still is super up in the air, and they really haven't explained enough of it yet.
Oh, the
But
counters.
there's still a lot more questions asked, man, right? Like when it comes to the Black Widow compared to Shang-Chi gave you a definitive story.
Yeah,
It was
I told you
to
that was like
me,
a ride. That was like a Disney ride to me. Like that was a
it felt
Disney
good,
ride.
and to me, I think I think I've compared this before, but I've compared it to like the way Black Panther is. Like the Black Panther film, like it gave you a definitive story from beginning to end.
Yeah.
You know, is there an opportunity for continuation? Yes,
Yes.
but this story is like, okay, cool, boom, solid approval, boom, origin story, everything's there, kind of solid. Is
Mhm.
it derived directly from the comic books? No, because the Shang-Chi story that we had in the movie took like 27 years in the comic books for them to do. Because right now in the comics, even though Shang-Chi's been there since the 80s, if you want to get into it, or the 70s,
Mhm.
he has the 10 rings right now,
Yeah.
where he got them in fucking 12 days in the movie, which fantastic. So I
Mhm.
want to see what they're gonna do with this character, right? Um, but man, dude, so Black Widow won the People's Choice Award.
Absolutely.
What other things happened? So like what's real crazy is post coronavirus, it was even worse during the coronavirus, but I really had gotten out of watching award ceremonies because it's just all these people giving themselves good games. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like everybody just slapping each other
Absolutely.
on the ass, good games. And it's
Yes.
like,
Well, I think that's just more of what's going on here. There should be no reason why Black Widow, numbers wise, box office wise, uh, H Disney Plus numbers wise, the Rotten Tomatoes, the audience scores. There should be
it
no
just didn't
reason
make
why
sense.
there's no reason why that should be the movie of 2021.
What other
And
things, what other awards did
and
it win?
honestly, I not looking at the screen right now, but it was who said about yes, Vince, good call. Ghostbusters should have been in that category, hands
Well,
down,
the Eternals too.
and the Eternals. I don't know if I would have picked the Eternals, but definitely should have been in the running for movie of the year. Honestly, I don't even know how Black Widow even made this fucking list. If you want me to be totally honest with you, like I know you have to put it in there because it was like a blockbuster and everyone was like the anticipation for it was so long. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't even have put it in the fucking running.
You think that was part of their, like, maybe their agreement for the case?
I don't know what it was, but there is something fishy with that. That's all I'll say. You know, I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart, so
Yeah,
I
yeah. There's It's a little weird. What other
and you know
awards
what?
did they give
Okay,
out that were just
so awards. So yeah, so I think this is the reason why Black Widow won that because the action movie of 2021 was Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi did win, and it was so that's weird because like so you give movie of the year to Black Widow, but action movie of the year, which is what they both are, Shang-Chi wins. Can you explain it to me?
well, I mean, it all
They're
determines
both
on what it
action
is that
movies.
these people are really taking into consideration on how to give an award in the first place. What in their mind correlates to the idea that Black Widow is a great movie that deserves an award?
I would assume the action because it wasn't the dialogue, so it would have to be the action, which Shang-Chi just won, which is why I'm confused. But let me just run down
The awards.
the contestants in the action movie of 2021. You have Black Widow, of course, F9, Godzilla versus Kong, which I actually enjoyed. I actually enjoyed that movie very, very much. No Time to Die, the James Bond movie, Shang-Chi, the winner, the Suicide Squad, the Tomorrow War, and then rounding up the category, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Can I ask you a question? I don't know if we talked about it much. What were your thoughts on the Suicide Squad?
See, and that's what I was thinking right now. I knew you were going to mention that. So the Suicide Squad had a lot of action to it.
Dude,
Like, got a lot of
that should have won
action.
this category.
Yeah, that was
That
like
should have won this
in my mind.
category.
I'm kind of like, dude, you did have a Harley Quinn beat the shit out of a fucking bunch of dudes in like a building, and then she took out
Starro
Starro with a fucking bow
with a
staff from
fucking
some
with a bow
random dude.
staff. Yeah, just
Yeah,
went
man.
straight through his fucking eye and shit.
That I mean, it had a lot of action, man. It had a lot of action. You had Polka Dot Man fighting his mom every 20 minutes. Like it was wild, man. Dude, the whole start of the movie started with
Exactly.
nothing but violence, dude.
Yeah.
So this again goes off of the idea of what do they mean by action movie? Are they kind of like comparing it to like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies back in the day, action?
I mean, if you're doing that, then Shang-Chi can't
Then
win.
Shang-Chi would fucking dominate that
I
era
don't think
of
so.
stuff.
I don't think so. I mean, when you talk about like the hardcore action and drama and shit like that, the Suicide Squad should win this. It should win this category. I'm not
But the thing
a
is
big
like the
fan.
Suicide Squad compared to Shang-Chi, the action, I guess if you break down the action in Shang-Chi, it would be more of like the action based of martial arts fight choreography.
Okay.
There's a fuckload of that. It's like the entire movie. Where Suicide Squad had more explosions, kind of like the cinematography of action was there. but the
Suicide
choreography
Squad,
of action,
the Suicide Squad from start to finish was balls to the wall action.
yeah.
That like
But
that you don't honestly F9 might I would pick F if you come to action. I probably pick F if you just take the action of the movie. F9 is a horrible movie, but if you take
oh,
the
dude,
the action of the movie, it's probably a better action movie than Shang-Chi. The Suicide Squad, probably not the best written of these movies, but if
yeah,
you take the action
action, it's
of
pretty
it,
good.
it's probably better than Shang-Chi.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
the same thing as Godzilla,
God,
wouldn't it?
God, I was gonna say that Godzilla versus Kong. If you take the dialogue out and just the action,
Yeah, it's like fuck. It's like the whole
it's
movie's
pretty,
action.
it's pretty good. Like I would not. Maybe Godzilla and Kong is a reach. That's probably a reach. F9 and the Suicide Squad, I think, should have probably won this category, but we're not gonna spend too much time on that. We're
Yeah,
moving forward. The movie of 2021, as we all know, it was Black Widow. It was going against Coming to America, F9, Dune, which we said was probably a better movie. No Time to Die, which I thought was a better movie. Shang-Chi, which I thought was a better movie than that as well. The Tomorrow War, which comes up again, pretty decent. That's a pretty solid fucking movie, by the
I
way.
mean, for it being an Amazon Prime film, it was
Pretty
pretty
solid movie.
damn good.
Pretty solid movie. Venom,
And
we
it
can
was
get that.
one of a kind of movie, man. It was all original. Like the idea was cool. It was fresh. Like it wasn't based on a franchise. Like it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I dug it.
And then rounding up that list, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah, complete
Um,
trash.
the action movie star of 2021, Simu Liu wins that for Shang-Chi. Which honestly, going against Vin Diesel, John Cena, ScarJo, Florence Pugh, Daniel Craig, Chris Pratt for the Tomorrow War, and then Shirley. Yeah, he probably wins that. I don't mind Simu winning the action movie star of 2021. The show of 2021, you have now this is pretty interesting. All right.
That
We
is
might
very interesting.
may spend a little bit of time on this one. So the show of 2021, you have Cobra Kai, you have Grey's Anatomy, you have Law and
Law and Order.
Order, Special Victors SVU, Loki, which is the winner.
Mhm.
Somehow Saturday Night Live got in here, which you can just take that the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
The Bachelor, This Is Us, and WandaVision. What are your thoughts of Loki winning the show of 2021 with these powerhouses?
Okay, so the only two powerhouses that I see on that list, other than Loki, are Cobra Kai and WandaVision. But
What
the
about
Cobra
Grey's
Kai, of
Anatomy?
course,
Wait,
is
no. I'm not gonna let you do that. No.
which
I'm not
one?
gonna let you do that to Grey's Anatomy and Law and
Oh, I'm
Order.
not. I'm not a big fan of Grey's. I'm not. I don't
You
know enough
might
to
not
watch it.
be. I honestly, I have never watched not one episode of Grey's Anatomy
Yeah.
ever. But that's still not to say that's probably the biggest powerhouse in this
Well,
category.
I mean, from the smoke that everybody got this past year and what I was seeing on different terms, I didn't really
They
see
hate it.
much talks of Law and Order or Grey's Anatomy. I did see a lot of talks about Cobra Kai and WandaVision and Loki. Those are the ones that everybody was talking about. So if we're talking about some type of People's Choice Awards,
Hmm.
I mean, I can see where like the people in our age bracket would probably be talking about Grey's Anatomy since it's more of like a serious kind of like sitcom. Same thing with Law and Order. But if we're talking about the majority of social media, Cobra Kai, WandaVision, and Loki.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with you because I
Yeah,
think you're right. I think you're
yeah. Like
right.
I'm, I
I'm
mean, I'm
just
not, I'm not. It's not in a disrespectful sense because I know Grey's
no,
Anatomy's
no,
been
no.
in it for
Yeah,
years. The same thing with Law and Order. But
I'm gonna
where the
roll with you.
hype has been TV wise has been those three. Cobra
But out
Kai
of those,
started off as a talking point at one time, and then it
okay.
changed into an online series. Then it changed to an entire fucking sitcom on whatever channel it was on, HBO Max or wherever it's at. And now you're looking at season 3, and they're about to bring in the villain from the fucking Karate Kid Part 2. None of these guys have acted since those movies,
Hmm.
so it's so impressive to see all these people come back and get to relive these opportunities, and then kind of like explore the universe of the fucking Karate Kid. Just so wild as shit.
So we narrowed it down to Cobra Kai,
WandaVision and Loki.
Loki, and WandaVision. Are you cool with Loki winning that out of those three?
Yeah, that's a fucking hard question. Okay, so Cobra Kai right now for me, uh, but it would be budget wise that it really doesn't make the cut. You know what I mean? Like budget wise, like
Okay,
for what it is, it's a good, solid, standing story. But the
dude.
nostalgia keeps me there, wanting it to be successful. But
Okay,
then you're looking at the budget of the show, of it being big, and CG and expenses and stuff like that.
yeah,
And Loki and WandaVision are almost cinematic films compared to a television show,
okay,
right? So then you have the idea of Loki and WandaVision, where Loki had this grandeur journey or path, but then you had this crazy Wanda story that was a fucking beautiful love story.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's two different dramatic effects. Where yeah, you did have your romance in the Loki story,
hmm
but there's something that just doesn't sit right with Loki winning.
okay. I need you to take your dancing shoes off, and I need you to answer the question. Out of those three shows, which one should have won? You just
WandaVision.
basically there. Yes. You know
Well, I'm
what?
just
I knew I liked you for some reason.
free guy. Free guy should
I
have won. Uh,
I knew I
Vince.
liked you for some reason.
No, I mean,
I'm a
because
huge fan of WandaVision. As of right now, as we stand, out of all the Disney Plus shows, WandaVision is still number one for me.
yeah,
Loki is
and
a close
but you know what? Like the reason why I'm kind of being intricate about it is because I can see why Loki could win,
okay.
but through
No,
and
I
through
can see that.
cinematic
I
and
can see that.
artistic wise, I think WandaVision was just through and through overall a better show.
It was a way better show
Yeah,
than Loki.
because What If's not on here, and if they want to get crazy with all the fucking multi shit, like What If was fucking bonkers, man.
True. But
Um,
I will say I can see how Loki won, I guess, and I could see how Cobra Kai would have
yeah,
won. Could have
they're
won.
all good choices.
They're all
Like
good choices.
I'm actually a lot more impressed with the show of 2021's listing than I am with the movie of 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So
the best way to put it.
all right, so we're moving forward because we gotta get through this. We only
Yeah,
have
yeah.
two more spots left. The male TV star of 2021 that goes to Tom
The Rock, dude.
Hiddleston. Yeah, you would think so, but it goes to Tom Hiddleston for his Loki. He beats out Sterling K. Brown in This Is Us, Norman Reedus, my boy, for The Walking Dead, Keenan Thompson
Oh,
for Saturday Night Live.
television.
This is television. The
Whoa.
male TV star of 2021, Tom Hiddleston won. Again, he beat Sterling K. Brown, who I fucking love and anything that he fucking does for This Is Us. By the way, Tom Hiddleston, I'm sorry, you're not a better actor than Sterling K. Brown. That's just my thoughts.
Mhm.
Moving on, Norman Reedus for The Walking Dead, Keenan Thompson for Saturday Night Live, Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson for Young Rock, Chase Stokes for Outer Banks. I'm not familiar with that show, and then Anthony Mackie for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I would rather have Anthony Mackie win as opposed to Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston did a great job for Loki, but what Anthony Mackie did for the Falcon and Winter Soldier was for the interaction with him and fucking
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan, but not only him, but what's the older black dude? What's his name? Or
Oh,
the
Bradley. You're talking about Bradley?
Bradley.
Yeah.
The interaction with him was fucking amazing. Better
Yeah,
than
he's really
anything
good.
that Loki and fucking what's the fucking Sylvie chick ever had.
Sylvie.
Yeah, like honestly, that I have a little bit of an issue with that
Yeah, there's
category.
a little bit. It's kind of awkward. Sterling. You mentioned Sterling K. Brown. I do remember him when he was in Supernatural. Came out in Supernatural for a little bit. He did an amazing
Great,
job in
great
Supernatural.
fucking actor.
Um, but yeah,
Tom Hiddleston could not tie Sterling K. Brown's shoes. I'm sorry.
yeah, like he's.
He
I
can't.
mean,
And I love Tom
yeah,
Hiddleston. I love Tom Hiddleston.
yeah. I don't
He's a
see
great
it. I don't see
actor.
it.
But he
Um,
can't tie Sterling K. Brown's
you know
shoes.
what? Yeah, I kind of feel like you're right. Anthony Mackie. I think the show, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when it comes to this, had more heart than the Loki show did.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Loki show just kind of brought us Loki. Like it
More
just
of
gave us
Loki.
Loki. Like it just gave us
Yeah.
Loki.
The Loki that we
Where
already knew.
the Falcon and the Winter Soldier did a lot more deep
Build.
diving into the
That was
character.
building.
There's a lot
That
more
was
character development.
yeah.
So yeah, I can kind of see where Anthony Mackie would beat him out. You know, I thought you were talking about male stars for film because
No,
Dwayne
this is
Johnson run
TV.
that for got that for the Jungle.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the one that I have to ask, and it's super out of nowhere because I'm going through this list. Also, I didn't get to watch this shit, but it's very very awkward. The drama movie.
Okay, what was it? I don't even have that in front of me, but I
So
want
the
to hear you
drama
about it. What is
movie
it?
of 2021. This is the list, and I'm not gonna give you the winner. And
Okay.
this goes to everybody in the comments if you guys want to jump in on this. Okay,
And I'm
so
not
these are the list.
everyone that's watching, everyone's listening.
Yeah, he's
I
not
don't
looking
have
at the
this in
list.
front of me. I don't know this. What is
Okay,
it?
so drama movies of 2021: A Quiet
Yes.
Place Part 2,
Okay.
Cruella,
Okay.
Dune,
Okay.
Fatherhood,
Oh,
Halloween Kills, In the
okay.
Heights, Old, or Respect.
And what was the name of the category again?
The drama movie of 2021.
Drama movie. All right, so we can get Halloween the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What were say that one more time?
A Quiet Place Part 2,
Okay.
Cruella,
Okay.
Dune,
Okay.
Fatherhood, Halloween Kills, In the Heights, Old, and Respect.
Okay. Old, you can get out of here. I like old, but because I'm just a M Night Shyamalan, I'm a fan of his. But
Well, at least.
but that movie did suck. And it shouldn't be in drama. For me, it's either between Cruella, which if you guys have not seen that movie, sleeper. That movie's a sleeper. Cruella is a great movie. It would be between Cruella, and then you also said Dune.
And
That's
A
a really
Quiet
good
Place
one.
Part 2.
And a quiet place. Those would be my three that I think would be the top of the list. And then if I had
Not
to
for
pick
drama.
for drama, and if I had to pick one, I probably would pick Dune. Dune would be my pick.
Cruella slapped the shit out of all of them.
Ah, I knew it. Yes, yes, yes.
But you see, like that's the thing is Cruella is a great movie.
That's a great
That's a
movie,
great,
dude.
great movie.
That's a
But
great
does it
movie.
have the drama that Dune had? Because
No.
drama literally is a fucking just all drama.
Yeah.
It's just literally based on drama. It's a masterpiece when it comes to drama. The turmoil in the film, the character development of each character, what it brings to the table, the script, everything about it is just drama-esque. Where you could see the fun in Cruella, but like it's more like a fun-esque, like coming to age story for a villain.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing like as Maleficent, right? But you're not gonna put Maleficent against Avatar when it comes to drama.
True.
Not the last Avatar. I'm talking the Avatar, like the fucking
You know,
Avatar, the big ass aliens. Yeah. You're not gonna. I mean, it's there's just something about it. It's a very weird Cruella beating out Dune in a drama. But then again, like we said, I think if you haven't seen Cruella, guys, like
it's a great movie, dude.
It's
Like
a
I don't
solid
mind it. I don't
masterpiece.
mind it winning just because of how good of a movie Cruella
Yeah.
is. And honestly, and I just recently saw it because I was told by somebody at my job, and they were like,
You should check it out.
yeah, because
It's
they
good.
knew that I talk about movies and I talk about comics and all that stuff, and they were like, well, how do you feel about Cruella? And I was like, you know what, I've never watched it.
It
And
is
they were like,
for being a Disney film, it's really good.
and they were like, dude, do yourself a favor, watch that movie.
Yeah.
And I did. And I was like, you know what? This is a great fucking movie.
Yeah, it is
And
solid.
so Vince, yes, I forgot about Old. I did not see that in the movie theater, but I did watch it at home. And again, I don't recommend it if you're not a M Night Shyamalan fan.
What a twist!
If you're not a fan of his, you're not gonna like this movie. But if you are a fan of his, you'll love this movie. That movie was actually one of his better ones, actually.
Okay. So I think we've covered the People's Choice Awards. Yeah. We can just jump on to the next one. But before we jump on, I want to say this really quick. Speaking about television shows and shows in general, I want to get your quick reaction to this, and it's just literally it just came out. Literally, it just dropped the press like maybe a couple of hours ago. Maybe yesterday is when it kind of hit the
Oh, this
news.
is
But
okay. Great. Hit me.
but
Hit me. Let's go.
straight up, dude, how do you feel about the cancellation of Cowboy Bebop?
Fuck that show.
Dude, oh, that's so harsh. You know what? And it's very sad because it wasn't a bad attempt. What was bad is I think the advertising of them saying it was going to be better than the original. And we talked about this. We really cut it up, when it first came out. I had to sit down and force myself to watch the entire thing. And I only got to episode 7. I couldn't even get to 8. I just couldn't. I got to the part when it brought in
I did.
I got to the episode where they brought in the fucking guy, what's his name? Jean something, the clown.
Okay.
The flying clown or whatever. And I thought it was ass. I was like, there was just things that I just could not like fathom the idea. Like I have to keep watching this to really push myself.
Yeah.
What I do feel bad on is I know that the actors were very adamant about like, hey man, we really like this show. The guy Jet, he did an amazing job. John Cho, I know he probably grew up watching anime too, and he wants to do it justice and all this shit.
He's
he even put out
he's literally the only reason why I watched that show.
Yeah. Well, for me, I ain't gonna lie. I instantly fucking was like, yo, this show, they could have chosen a different actor than John Cho, and I would have been okay. They could have chosen fucking anybody, but I instantly fell in love with the actor that played Jet Black. Okay. Like Jet Black is an amazing. I can literally watch a Gumshoe movie with just him and that other guy. The episode where it's just him being a detective.
Yeah.
Like I could literally watch that. Like I thought it was great. I thought he did a fantastic job. The way he portrays Jet. I think Jet's original character in the franchise was great. I think his role of the entire character was spot on. Mm-hmm. I think he was the best thing. I'm is a dog. You really can't fuck that up. Faye, it took there was a couple episodes for me to really kind of like, oh, okay, this chick's all right. Like I can get behind this. Mm-hmm. But the story of like Vicious, like them really throwing that into the forefront that it had to be explained. Spike's backstory being a lot more detailed and explained kind of took away the mystery of the show on why you want to know more. What's really beautiful about the original show is that Spike's history isn't really explained all that heavily. So when he tells Faye in the end, like he starts opening up about his history, like she kind of freaks out. They did have a moment with Faye's character where she kind of does, she does the dirty with a person, and it kind of takes away from the idea of what the character's like in the comic, and kind of left it, the comic or the anime left it open-ended to what she's kind of into, where the film kind of made it definitive.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even get to the part with Edward. Like I couldn't get to episode 8. And I know that little child, I don't want to say girl because I don't want to misgender her if the person is, still open-minded about that. But I know they were very excited to play the role, and now they don't even get an opportunity. But I think that them stating that it was going to be better, or if not just as good, is the thing that killed it. If they would have just said, hey, we're going to do this, wish us luck, I think it would have been more acceptable.
I don't want to get too deep into this because the show we both agree it just wasn't that good. But I have a question for you though.
Shoot.
So with the cancellation of an anime as big as Cowboy Bebop, do you think it's going to deter any other studio from trying to create a live action anime?
No, not at all. I think they're just learning. I think they're just learning. For what it's worth, there's been several iterations where, the people complain and they say, oh, well, you know what? Americans shouldn't make anime films because, they make Scarlett Johansson the main character and it's supposed to be an Asian film.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
But then everybody complains when the Asian people do the films because then they yellow cast the entire cast when,
there's no relatability.
They have an inability of putting diverse characters in it. Yeah. They just make everybody Japanese. Even the black characters in their films are just darker Asian people, which don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right. That's not a fixation on Asian people needing to keep it Asian. That's just where the artist rendered a character a different ethnic race. They just don't know how to outsource or bring in people from other different cultures and work with them.
Yeah.
So like that would be I tell people all the time, Full Metal Alchemist, they complain that their characters needed to be done by Japanese characters, but the entire cast is German. The entire fucking anime is based on German people. None of them are Japanese, including the horrible mess that was the live action Attack on Titan. The entire film is all Asian people, where Mikasa's family is the only Japanese characters in the film or in the anime. They're the only Japanese characters. Everybody else is of a Anglo culture, except for one character that's a black guy.
Okay.
So I think everybody just sucks at it. And I think right now they're just barely making their turns on, okay, cool, we need to really be open-minded. You had, of course, the prosperity of the Squid Games, but are they going to make a Squid Games to where it's nation or worldwide, or is it just going to stay in Korea? I think they really need to expand a little bit more, which is something interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just yeah. No, it's just one of those things. I think it's just that they are really trying to find their muse on how to establish it correctly. Okay. Cowboy Bebop was a fun adaptation, a wrong approach. That's the easiest way. Because look, watch through and through. Death Note compared to Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop.
By how far?
Not much.
Not much. Like for me, it's definitive. Because Death Note compared to Cowboy Bebop, like Cowboy Bebop's like up here.
I didn't really like either one of them, to be honest with you. Again, I didn't even finish. It was that it didn't grasp me. And I literally do not like Death Note.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like Death Note's very, very hard to swallow. If it was called anything else, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
But since it's Death Note, you have something to compare it to. Cowboy Bebop, since we have something to compare it to, it doesn't fix it. I think you said it the best, that there are just some things that don't iterate into live action.
Yeah. So that's why I'm asking you. Like, so like, do you think it's going to alter some of these studios like vision on some of these animes? Because like right now, if it's popular, it's gonna get green light. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna go. But like now that Cowboy Bebop, with the popularity that it had, and it's canceled after one season. Do you think some of these studios may start to second guess?
Then it just goes off. Like I really think that the way that they approach it is the thing that they need to handle, because through and through the casting wasn't bad
at all. No,
from the characters individually playing the characters,
they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, not bad. It was fun. If it wasn't called Cowboy Bebop, could you watch it? Yeah, I could watch the shit out of it. I think the episode where they brought in Asimov, or the dude and his wife with the red eye, I think that was a great episode. I thought that was fun. It was super like a Quentin Tarantino-ish, very Desperado. John Cho did an amazing job. Jet Black, the guy that played Jet Black, did an amazing job. Even in some episodes, the girl that played Faye and all three of them interacting did an amazing gumshoe interaction. If you were to compare this to Firefly, how would it sit up if it wasn't called Cowboy Bebop? You know what I'm talking about, right? You remember Cowboy? You remember Firefly?
Yeah.
If you were going to compare it to that kind of a sitcom where it's like a space cowboy story without it having a title of Cowboy Bebop, what would you say?
See, my problem is that even if you don't call it Cowboy Bebop, I still have issues with it.
Yeah, of course.
I still have issues with it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's not perfect.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not perfect at all.
I don't think I was looking for perfection, but I was looking for something better than what I got. And I don't think that I can overlook that. Some things, when it comes to certain movies or shows, I can just overlook it for like when we get into Hawkeye, there's some things that I can overlook because you're giving me a better story. But there's dude, when it walks and quacks like a duck, man, it is what it is.
Yeah, like I mean,
it's a bad show. It's a bad show.
like we know why it got canceled. But the question is for what it's worth, was this a better attempt at animated live action?
No.
So you think it's
one of those? This is one of those you should just left it alone.
Should have just left it alone.
She just left it alone.
That's a good point, right?
And that's what I'm asking, like, which I'm hoping the answer is yes. You said definitively no.
No, I think
studios are not gonna like like pump the brakes, but I'm hoping that they do, because they're like, I get it. You want to cash in on this anime craze
yeah,
on the last like 5 years or whatever, but it's a waste of money at some point.
Do you think it benefits the smaller anime community, and the bigger community needs to wait and go like live action full film?
Not if they do it wrong. It's a detriment to the smaller anime community, because now they're looking forward to a Cowboy Bebop. They're looking forward to a Last Airbender. They're looking forward to some of these movies that just fall flat, and now it leaves a bad taste. And it's not the last thing, but at the time it's one of the last things that they have, you know, to ingest of that property.
Yeah.
And it leaves a bad taste in their mouth. So sometimes just leave it the fuck alone. If you can't pull it off, there has to be, like, for every anime live action, there should be somebody that's hired, and his one job is to be like,
to make continuity.
Yeah, not
continuity
just to make continuity, but to be like, yes, as a fan, this is what we want to see. Yes, as a fan, they would love this. Yes, as a fan, they would go crazy for this. Yes, that's the one thing that's the one thing they need. And whenever they say no, this isn't it, take his word for it.
Yeah, take his word for it. That's a
like
good point.
her word for it.
So
but there should be somebody in that place. There should be somebody on staff that actually follows the source and is giving the thumbs up or the thumbs down.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Okay, so we can say that it was a good attempt, but it did not hit the mark. Yeah. So we think that it's probably best that they pump the brakes. Pump the hate brakes there, Princess, or what does Ryan Reynolds say in that one movie? Pump the hate brakes.
I don't remember,
yeah. They pump the brakes and they put a stop to it right now. Nip it in the butt. Take their loss. Go back to the drawing board. Maybe try again later. Not Cowboy Bebop, but something different.
But
you know, I feel pretty bad because the cast wasn't that bad. I just think that the execution was the part that they fucked.
After Harold and Kumar, dude,
it's very hard for John Cho to get out of that fucking.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't believe that. I was a lifer. Right after that movie, I was a lifer for that guy, yo. I'm a lifer for him. No matter what he's in, I'll give it a shot. Just because of what that movie meant to me.
Yeah. Okay.
It just sucks. It just sucks that this one didn't pan out.
Bite,
I like him.
Vince Weaver asks a really solid question in the comment section. He asks,
What's up?
What is the worst anime live action series or movie?
Ooh.
That for me, easy fucking question. Attack on Titan 1 and 2. Like that was like, man.
Wait. That one is worse than Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll die on that mound right there. Dragon Ball Evolution was bad. It was
that
really
movie
bad.
There you go, Rob.
Yo,
yes.
even to throw it in there. Yo, even to throw it in there, but the Legend of Chun-Li, the Street Fighter movie, like that one was garbage too, man.
No, but that was like an Oscar award winner against
compared to all the other ones. Goddamn. I think my favorite line was when that fucking Chris dude said when they're talking about M. Bison and he's like he walks through the raindrops or some shit, and I was like, what in the fucking Shakespeare am I watching?
Raul Julia as M. Bison.
Oh no, that was Street Fighter with fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme.
You're talking about the origin. Yes,
that was fun as fuck.
No, that movie was trash.
I'm talking the one with fucking Smallville chick, dude.
Okay,
you remember that one? Do you remember when she played Chun-Li? Oh, that one was crap, man. But okay, Dragon Ball Evolution was bad, but if you have not seen the Attack on Titan live action, it is atrocious, dude. It is horrible. Because not okay. Dragon Ball
I'm gonna
Evolution
let you
still
cook.
has
Be right back. Hold on.
go for it, go for
Go
it.
ahead. Go.
Dragon Ball Evolution still has, Goku being an alien, still has Grandpa Gohan. There's still a lot of points that are taken from that, even the whole King Piccolo story. It's still there, but in a fucking horrible way. The Attack on Titan live action film literally rewrites the entire story of Attack on Titan. And I think it's because the director didn't want to put anything out there that gave you a hint to what the full story of Attack on Titan was. So filling you back in, the
Attack on
Dragon Ball
Titans. Yo,
Evolution film.
fuck that, bro. There's no way that there's a worse
Hold on, hold
anime
on.
movie.
You need to hear my points real
Oh
quick.
God, here we
Okay.
go.
So the Dragon Ball Evolution film at least had some connection to the original story of Dragon Ball.
Names only. Names only. That's it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Goku was a space alien. Grandpa Gohan picked him up and taught him how to train first. Dragon Ball, the cartoon, was like him marrying Chi-Chi and meeting her, doing the tournament and all that stuff.
What were you expecting from that movie?
Not bad.
All right,
not what we got.
It was just like I'm gonna let you finish, but that movie was so bad. Like as a kid, like I remember, as a young teen growing up watching Dragon Ball Z, and then hearing that there was going to be a Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah.
And then when I was just extremely, extremely disappointing. And I will never, ever, ever forgive them for that. Ever.
Okay, so I totally agree with you because it was a really bad movie. And the problem with it is it fell short because it followed the same pattern as the Fox films did to like X-Men and Fantastic Four and to the Spider-Man franchise with Sony, where they were taking a lot of liberation but keeping the characters the same and kind of like dealing about this much into the normal story and then, diluting the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Where the Attack on Titan live action film literally rewrote the entire story because the director of Attack on Titan didn't want to tell them how the franchise was ending. Because he didn't want to give up how the manga was going to end. So he was like, oh, well, we'll make a live action, but we'll do it your own creative input. You
don't feel like there's some type of comfort knowing that there was at least an explanation as to why you got a shit movie?
Like for which one?
For Attack on Titan.
Fuck no, dude. Oh no.
At least you have an explanation as to why there was a shit movie. Tell me why we got a shit version of fucking Dragon Ball Evolution.
Well, that's because you got a bunch of people that don't know the anime making the film. That's just you had a bunch of random white people that were like, yo, people love this shit. They want to make money. Let's make money out of it.
Let's make some money off of it.
Yeah, let's make some money.
Exactly.
The problem,
at least on Attack on Titan, there was a reason why that movie was so bad.
Well, yeah, but you see, like with my thing with Attack on Titan is the director knew he didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like he knew he wasn't going to give any information about the story. But he was like, hey, you want to pay me to make a movie? I'll take that money. But I'm not going to tell you how the story's going to end, so you do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Yeah.
And it was like 180 degrees in the opposite direction of what Attack on Titan really is. Yeah. Now that we're coming to the ending of Attack on Titan, it just finished last year, the manga, and it was a fucking masterpiece. Like it was probably one of the greatest mangas written in a very, very long time, up to be one of the greatest animes that's coming up. Right, because it's about to hit the final series coming up. I think like in a couple months, they're gonna re-release the new season, the ending season. Everybody's excited for it. It's gonna be fucking amazing. But to know that they have a live action, sooner or later they're gonna go back to that live action film and be like, bro, we have to do this right. We have to do this right, because saying that it's a post-apocalyptic world of our universe and all the Titans are just mutated people that just want to eat people, and we're living on warheads and old cars, and we have all like, and then you watch the show, and the show is like, well, it's literally about a race of people that are living on an island that have been isolated because they have a certain blood that's tainted by the devil that makes people turn into like demons. or whatever. Like it's super crazy, dude. Super crazy. But then
Yeah.
you realize that the main person that can control all of them can travel in the memories of all of them. And he was like, as a child, he made people forget, and he already knew he. You end up finding out that the main character knew what was eventually how he was going to die, and he perpetrated everything that happens in the film on purpose to get to that ending to free his friends in his country. It's a masterpiece. It really is, the way everything ties in at the end. So live action literally just shits all over the idea of it being good. Like, just it's horrible. But then again, Dragon Ball Z is our Dragon Ball Evolution is
Honestly,
a close runner up, man.
And Vince, for your question, if you take Dragon Ball and Attack on Titan out of the runnings for this topic, Death Note is gonna be right at the top.
Yeah,
it's gonna be right. It's gonna be like right at the top of the fucking list.
We can't forget that Chun-Li Street Fighter movie, dude. We cannot.
Honestly, I've never seen it, which I remember. I do remember it. I remember it being out, but I was like, no way.
It's a good drinking movie to watch when you're
No
drinking.
way.
It's a good drinking movie. What do I mean by that is, you know, you're gonna get hammered and you're gonna have to talk shit about it. Like, that's the movie. That is the movie.
There's no way.
But with that question, so far, what's been the best one?
Ooh,
for me? Ghost in the Shell was pretty solid.
You keep mentioning that. Anime, movie, or
oh, you know what? Fuck, I can't. No, I can't do Ghost in the Shell. It would have to be the Rurouni Kenshin series that's on Netflix right now. And I talked about that one like 2 weeks ago too.
Okay.
Yeah, the live action of Rurouni Kenshin, the beginning, the end, and all that shit's super good, man. Fuck, it's super good. Yeah, my bad.
I don't honestly. I would have to think about what my favorite is. I don't. Yeah,
Alex. Yeah, I see Chun-Li's bad, man. He knows.
No, I knew better to do that before I even watched it. Like, there's no fucking way.
You gotta promise me one day you're gonna watch it. You're gonna drink while you watch it, dude.
No way, man. Yeah. Hell no. I didn't want to watch it when I was fucking younger. Why do I want to watch it now, dude? Hell no.
We're gonna have to have a deep dive one day. We're gonna do a whole episode based on that show now. We're gonna have a whole podcast based on Chun-Li.
Live action though, like we're talking about live action movies or
I'll tell you what, let's open it broader, right? Any live action that's from
there hasn't been many that I like.
That'd be like Masters of the Universe, He-Man. You know what I mean? Like fucking with Dolph
Lundgren. I watched that not too long ago recently. That does not hold up, bro.
It does not, man.
It does not hold up.
It does not.
It doesn't hold up, bro. Yeah, honestly, I don't as of right now, I don't have a favorite. There's been a couple of cool ones that I thought were cool, but as a favorite, I don't have a favorite. Like, there hasn't been anyone that has nailed a live action anime show or movie. It has not.
Do me the favor. You have to watch Rurouni Kenshin, man.
Okay.
You have to. You have to. I will. I'll vouch for it. I'll vouch for the one on Netflix. There's Blade of the Immortal, which isn't too bad either. But Blade of the Immortal, the anime is still a little bit better.
Okay.
But yeah, Rurouni Kenshin, the live action it's pretty good. Cinematography solid. The actor's very good. You could tell that they're very passionate about the roles that they're playing, and they're very invested. So that already sells it to me that they know what's up. Yeah, but Alex is absolutely correct. Chun-Li sucked really bad. Kenshin's pretty good.
And so now that I have two people that have verified that movie sucked ass, and now you want me to watch it.
Which one?
The Chun-Li movie.
Oh, Chun-Li's bad, but I'm saying watch it drinking.
Just watch it drinking.
Yeah,
okay,
watch it drinking. Watch it drinking. It's a drinking movie. That would be the equivalent to me introducing you to Starship Troopers. I'm not gonna say it's a great movie.
No, but Starship Troopers, you know what it is.
You know what drinking. Starship Troopers is a fucking fantastic movie.
I don't mind. I'm not as big of a fan of Starship Troopers as you are. Yeah. But I don't mind it. And I'll watch it. Like, I'll watch that shit. Like,
I am a big fan. I'm a big fucking fan of it.
The way you looked to the right and left.
Yeah, you saw me. I had to really think about it.
Yeah.
But man, would I watch the shit out of that if I was drinking, dude? Because if I'm drinking, I'm yelling all the fucking manly, masculine shit that I can. You trying to kill some fucking bugs, Watson? Yes, sir. Just trying to fucking be a hero.
Do you drink at all? Like, are you just straight edge now?
I mean, I don't drink as much.
But you have like
I,
a nice cocktail once in a while.
yeah. You know what? As a matter of fact, we did. You were just asking me about this a little while ago, which is we're still kind of putting the finalizations on the new video for our sponsor, which we'll be playing this coming weekend. I won't put it on today because we're still finalizing it. We got to get it okayed by David Garcia, who is the head guy of the Collector. Shout out to David and the Collector LLC, which is a badass collector shop that's here in McAllen. We're working out the videos so that way we can play it. But while we were there, right next to it is a nice little like liquor store, right? It's called Bourbon Street. It's not literally Bourbon Street, but it's just a nice little like establishment.
Yeah.
And I recently heard that Captain Morgan released a tropical punch flavor.
I did hear that as well.
And I was like, oh fuck,
Bingo.
dude. Yeah, bingo bango. Bingo bango. Bingo bango. I love tropical punch as a flavor, man. And don't get me wrong, we have a badass little burger store down here called Stars. And of course we have Sonic. I know you guys probably have Sonic Burger, right?
Recently.
They have Ocean Water, right?
Okay.
Ocean Water is the flavor that they use coconut flavoring with Sprite. I grew up drinking Malibu or Captain Morgan coconut rum and Sprite. It's a great mix. It tastes exactly the same. It's a creeper. It sneaks up on you. It's pretty crazy. So to know that Captain Morgan's kind of venturing out there with new flavors like tropical punch,
there, yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I am really excited to try that out. So that'll probably be the next drink I'm kind of banging. Probably.
Nice.
And we'll make sure that I know that we were talking about this a couple weeks ago about kind of deep diving into characters. We're going to talk about hopefully Moon Knight soon.
Okay.
When we do comic book deep dives, I like to have a couple drinks while I'm at it, so that way I can like drop some free gangster knowledge, dude. So I can just start talking random shit. Yeah, that'll be a fun night. That'll be something we talk about. But
Alex, you watch your fucking mouth. Street Fighter was the best movie that's ever
Street Fighter
made.
Was still
ever.
Wait, which one though?
Raul Julia. No, if you're listen, I'll let you get your Chung Li shit off. But Street Fighter with Raul Julia as his last movie ever on this face of this planet was a fucking gem. No, I'm sorry, that movie was horrible. Don't ever watch that fucking movie.
My fucking favorite line from that was like, change the channel, remember? Because the fucking truck is on fire and Zangief is like,
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Why was Jean-Claude Van Damme in that fucking movie, bro?
Yo, my favorite thing is Jean-Claude Van Damme is literally like Yugoslavian. Like straight up has like the most horrible accent. And he fucking has the American flag like on his bicep. He's playing like literally the whitest character.
The whitest character
yeah, you can
in
literally
the lore of Street Fighter, yeah.
Yo, but that was wild though. Do you remember they had like Cammy? They had T-Hawk.
That was the one thing. All right, so Alex did say at least the old Street Fighter had more characters.
We got
a shitload of characters in that. We got Balrog, we got E Honda, we got everybody in that fucking movie.
And what's even crazier than that is you had martial arts kickboxing American icon Benny the Jet Akitas show up as Blanca for like 5 seconds, dude. 5 seconds, smash some shit with Dulcim the scientist, and then disappear and be like, oh, Guile. And I was like, God, that's horrible, man.
That was my biggest
gripe of that movie. Is that
Blanca? No, the way they did Blanca, like that was
dirty, man. They fucked him up so bad. That's because if anybody, if you get the opportunity, you could type in Benny the Jet Akitas versus Jackie Chan and watch any of his fucking fight scenes with Jackie Chan, and you will be instantly blown away. And I guarantee you probably have seen him, because if you've seen any of Jackie Chan's greatest films, most of his greatest fight scenes are with Benny the Jet Akitas. Literally Benny the Jet. And Street Fighter used him for 4 fucking seconds in a fucking weirdest Blanca tribute ever.
Yeah, bullshit scene. And then Dalton.
If you ever want to see a greater Street Fighter tribute, look up Jackie Chan City Hunter Chung Li.
There was a I think it might have been like a Bat in the Sun.
Oh, dude, those guys do an amazing job.
I think there might have been like a Bat in the Sun Street Fighter.
Ryu versus Green Ranger.
It might have been something like that. But like I've been a fan of Bat in the Sun for years before I met anybody here. And they have done some great work. I remember watching their verses. Like you said, they used to have like Predator versus Wolverine,
Wonder
and the
Woman
green,
versus Wolverine.
yeah, and like the Green Ranger versus, I don't know, the Joker or some shit like that.
They had
They have a lot of shit, dude.
was it Robin versus that wrestling dude? The one that was from fuck man, they just let him go like last week.
And, you mean Hardy?
Not Jeff Hardy. Not Jeff Hardy. It was like right before that. It was that dude that won Tough Enough.
I don't remember.
No, fuck. Well, he played a character. I forgot what it was, but yeah, they had it. It was like a Damien or Dick Grayson versus someone from the Marvel universe or whatever.
Raul
Oh, Casey Jones.
Julia.
Yeah,
Casey Jones.
Yeah, it
Raul
was-
Julia played Bison. And if you're talking about the regular Street Fighter movie,
Casey
yeah.
Jones versus
Listen, anyone that's listening, anyone that's watching, if you just type in Bat in the Sun, if you go to like their old stuff, I'm talking about like years ago, like the way that they made their name epic was these verses. And they used to, and the creator, the main guy, he usually plays like the Joker in most of them. He's usually like the main guy. He's Nightwing most of the time. He's been all over the fucking place.
John Morrison.
Yes, John Morrison.
John Morrison played Casey Jones in their Kick-Ass versus Casey Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, so John Morrison was the dude that won the
Their
first
verses, if you're not aware,
so
please do yourself a favor and watch them all, because they're all good.
They're all amazing, dude.
They're all good. I might not agree about who would win, but they're fucking great, yo.
And as a matter of fact, talking about Bat in the Sun, they just dropped their first trailer teaser for Lord of the White Dragon. Yeah, Legend of the White Dragon. It's the dude that plays Diggle from fucking Flash is in it. Mm-hmm. Or no, from Green Arrow. He's like the president of the United States. Of course, JDF is in it. Super amazing to see him back and reprising his role. I know 2 other Power Rangers from the previous shows are in it also with him. Super gritty, super crazy that he got the rights and was like given the opportunity to do this. Going off of the Grid storyline where they have the Lord Draken, the evil White Ranger or Green Ranger. Super amazing story. I know the main guy that runs Bat in the Sun is also playing one of the characters. The guy who played Kill Bill's brother is in it. Like
Madsen. Michael Madsen.
Yeah, Madsen's in it. Yeah, he's in it too. So dude, they get an amazing cast. This cast is just so good. And they do such an amazing job.
Top notch, always. They got Michael Madsen to play what's the guy in the Batman lore?
Gordon? Not Gordon, but the other detective.
The dirty ass detective.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They got him to play in one of the recent ones that was making the rounds. But yeah, dude, like if you, again, guys, girls, if you guys have spare time, listen, it's like a rabbit hole. Like once you start watching those verses, you won't stop. I guarantee you won't stop. I literally spent like three days watching all of the verses years ago. Bat in the Sun is fucking dope.
Okay, so going on, next part of the conversation, I really wanted to bring this up. They just recently dropped. Of course, we saw the awesomeness of the Game Awards 2021. They dropped some really great things. Alan Wake 2
trailers.
There was also man, there was a bunch. The Forsaken, which was another game that they dropped. Horizon Zero Dawn, of course, got a really badass extended trailer. Yeah. But there was one trailer that came out that literally broke the fucking internet. There's so many people talking about it. I instantly got on our group chat and I was like, boys,
mind blown.
What are they doing to us, man? Star Wars literally just dropped one of the coolest trailers for a video game that's coming out that is going to be called Star Wars Eclipse. If you have not seen this trailer, I highly recommend it because it is fucking cinematic. I think you said it and you were like, was that a fucking movie?
I'm gonna be a little bit of a wet blanket though.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
Explain to me what made this so epic to you.
Okay, so for me, it's the idea that it's a whole new venture into the Star Wars lore. Like literally through and through, it's a whole new venture. But there is still some familiarities.
Hmm.
You see in one of the shots, Yoda's there looking out the window outside of the Jedi Council room, which
Hmm.
was very prominent in the prequels.
Yeah.
But I think C3PO is there. I'm guessing that looked like C3PO. I may be wrong.
I'm guessing if you want to, I'll allow it.
Maybe. But apparently this is going off of 100 years before the Phantom Menace. And you
Hmm.
have, of course, this brings into perspective the opportunity to know how many lifetimes Yoda's lived through
Hmm.
during the Star Wars realm. Like that's an interesting character even more now to me, knowing that he was there much longer before anybody else was there. He has seen the go and come and go and come of every iteration of life you can think of.
Of Light and Darkness.
And
Yeah.
it is so crazy. Uh Theory, and from what we've heard, it's going to be based highly on the High Republic era, which is around based on the comic books. It introduces a whole new a lot of different diverse race cultures that are in the Star Wars lore,
And
including an entire army
not
of
only
people we
that,
don't
but
know who the fuck they are.
like a whole fresh new set of Jedi.
Yeah.
To me, that is the most interesting thing about this trailer and like this show is that it's going to give us more Jedi. It's going to give us more characters to play with, more characters to love. That's what interests me more than anything. But go ahead.
Yeah, like I'm 100% behind you. Seeing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was giggling. That's why I saw that right now. And I was like, oh, the monstrosity, dude. The monstrosity.
In
Michael
the game,
Betancourt, my dog. My guy, Michael Betancourt, shout out. Says, don't forget the High Republic novels also. It's a fresh and rich setting to take a dive into.
so we
In
talked about this. We talked about this behind the scenes, and
Mhm.
my only problem with the telling of the High Republic is that nobody knows it. Like no one cared to fuck about. Like no one cared about it.
So
Like
okay, so Michael Betancourt's talking about, of course, like the legacy legend comics or the legacy novels that are from back in the day,
yeah,
which of course Star Wars and Kennedy and all these people have come out and said the stories are not really that much canon, but we know that those properties of those stories are still there that can be used as blueprints or as already material that they can kind of fabricate into a whole new story,
and now we
right?
go. Yeah.
So when this story dropped or when this video dropped, I of course had a million ideas going through my head, which of course any Star Wars fan was going to have.
Mhm.
The most prominent idea that came to mind was the starbase that's created in the Outer Rings during the High Republic story or the High Council stories, right?
Mhm.
um or the Old Republic, even if you want to get into that, right? They kind of like they fixate on going out into like the outer regions that were unsafe. But there was a moment where the Jedi's were super prominent, and then all of a sudden the Sith came back out of nowhere with the group of this group called the Nihilist, Nihils, Nihils, and again the characters are they're marauders, and
Mhm.
their skin is very leathery and all this other stuff. So like when you're looking at the dude beating the drum, the way that they make his skin, if you look at it, it's very leathery. It looks like football. It literally looks like football skin.
Mhm.
But then you see his face and he doesn't have a nose, which for some reason, Michael, you can quote me on this because Michael probably get this. It kind of gave me the idea that there may be a story here based on Count Plagueis, Darth Plagueis.
Okay.
Now, this may
Okay.
be an introduction to the backstory of Lord Plagueis because when they drew Lord Plagueis back in the day, he had a very elongated face, but like his nose was very like shoved. There was like no nose.
Mhm.
So this could be like a rebranding of that species of character. And the idea of them calling it Eclipse could be the idea of the introduction of Lord Plagueis and Lord Sidious, like him bringing in Lord Sidious, and then them reestablishing the Sith almost.
I hope that we don't get a Lord Sidious reference or anything. I'm done. I'm
Or Death
over it.
Raven. Which
I'm
one?
over it.
If we get a Sidious?
I don't need a Sidious.
Yeah, well, definitely, right? But the thing is this would be before Sidious, when
That's
he
what
was
I'm
a
saying. Like,
child.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need him mentioned at all.
Well, yeah, of course.
I want a fresh start. I don't want to know about Luke. I don't want to know about Sidious. I don't want to know about anybody, to be honest with you. I just want to, like, give me a whole fresh new take. And I think that's what they have in front of them. Like, don't try to correlate it too much to what we already know.
To what we're already used to.
Yeah.
Give us something different.
Give us something different.
Yeah.
That's
well,
what,
the thing is, the reason why I don't think that it'll have Lord Sidious is because it is based 100 years prior. So the life expansion of any character is not going to live that long, other than Yoda, right?
Yeah.
And we know that
the thing is, Sidious, I would say, I don't know. Sidious might have been along for a long time. We don't know.
Well, maybe, yeah, because we don't know what life is like in these realms, right? The idea of life. But the idea that we do know is that Sidious or Plagueis had died a long time ago in Sidious's life when he killed him at a younger age.
Yeah. Okay.
So we know that there is a possibility to bring in like a Lord Plagueis character and establish him as this very prominent Sith character who, you know, established the idea of beating death and was like this just very overbearing character. And then, of course, his death brought on by the evil part of Sidious or whatnot. It's an interesting role. And being that it's 100 years in the past before Anakin, that would be roughly around the same range as Sidious being maybe as his Anakin age 10.
I was going to say, like, he might have even been like in his teens or
in his teens or something, right? So we can kind of like casually see that. Do we want that? I wouldn't be a big fan of them bringing in a Sidious. I really wouldn't.
I wouldn't touch it.
But you know what? I would be a big fan of if they were to do like a retelling of Darth Bane.
Okay.
Or like a lot of the old, because the thing is we know for sure that Rian Johnson's going to get the opportunity to do another trilogy. Mm-hmm. We do know that they're bringing in almost the entire cast and directing and all the stuff of all the people from Game of Thrones. So we know this. We know this about Star Wars and the upcoming projects that they have planned. But the thing is we don't have enough backstory to really build it. We don't have enough dedication to that. We don't have enough we don't have anything embedded in stone. All we know is the timeline around the Star Wars and Luke Skywalker's storyline, right?
Yeah.
So yes, you see, that's the thing. I would love to see. I'm going to put Michael Betancourt's conversation or thing up. I would love to see the Jedi and the Sith war before the Rule of Two was made. That was around the Darth Bane story.
My thing is this. So as far as we know from the Anakin timeline,
yes,
right? Apparently, the Sith had been dismantled. Prominent. No, they had been dismantled up until that point. No.
Yes and no, because it wasn't that they were dismantled, as they were repurposed into only having the Rule of Two, right? Which is that whenever you have one Sith, he can only have one apprentice. But of course, with like Fallen Order, and you have, of course, Darth Vader's storyline. If you're saying that there's a lot of it that's still canon, he did have Starkiller, and there are certain characters that you had Count Dooku, who is also a Sith.
And so that's what I was gonna say. So like we were supposed to have been and let's take the novels and the comics out of it, just for the movie purpose. Movie purpose.
Yeah.
We were told that the Sith were dismantled, they were in hiding, there was nothing going on. But we know that that's not true. So now you have a fresh start to tell that, dude. You have a blank canvas to tell this. Well, they can't fuck this up.
What if I was even to tell you that the rich history of the Sith actually started off as a tribal people? Like they were a normal people. They were a whole culture of people.
So now
they were very hold on. They're like very barbaric, very tribal. Mm-hmm. And then the first people to create an order of Sith were Jedis that were excommunicated, and they went and started the Jedi. They went and started the Sith Council and the higher level ups. And then that's where we got this idea of like the Sith being this like evil group of people rather than an actual race or community of people.
I think that's where we're headed. I think
that would be amazing.
I think with, and the one thing that made me think that is when they had the eclipse, when they had like the sun going dark. I think that's what was that. That's what that insigniates.
I mean, that would be cool, right? Because the idea is so my instigation of it and my theory of it was that the eclipse was the Sith coming back from the Jedi High Council and the Jedi being very prominent. Because there was a moment that the Jedi and Sith went to war. The Jedi wiped most of them out. The Sith went into hiding, very much like the way the Jedi's do in the newer stories.
Mhm.
And there's no more Sith. And literally it's just Jedi versus Inquisitors and Jedi's versus like higher, like different variations of Jedi.
Yeah, exactly.
But because what's crazy is when normal people watching Star Wars that are casual fans, we look at the Star Wars mythos of Jedis and Sith as almost like religions, where we don't understand the rich history of them being actual, like Sith being an actual just community, just a regular normal race that were literally wiped out by a bunch of zealots and you know, religious zealots that are the Jedi. So like the opportunity for them to get like a weird Cinderella, like the Sith come back and get their community and their culture back would be an amazing story right now. Because everybody looks at the Sith as just being this like, oh, the Sith, they're evil. They're just the idea of what evil is. In this story,
But
they
what
are
if they
prime
didn't?
evil.
Yeah, but what if they didn't start off as evil?
What if they weren't evil? What if they were a community that was robbed? Then you have a poetic full circle bringing a story. That could be the whole eclipse being a big circle, the sun being a circle. Like, man, it would be so, God.
And again, it's like, but do you see? Like, this is a blank canvas.
It's so amazing.
Like, can you imagine sometimes if you don't write yourself into a fucking pigeonhole?
Yeah, into a fucking hole.
You can have a blank canvas just from some easy shit.
And you know what? And this is cool because this is where Alex earlier said that this is an opportunity for EA to save themselves, because in the last couple of years, it's literally been EA making Star Wars games. And if I'm not mistaken, there's about 4 or 5 Star Wars games that are in the make right now. But the only problem that I don't like about this so far, from what I've heard,
name one bad EA Star Wars game.
Battlefront 2, when they did all their whole the cash thing, when they were kind of robbing people with the whole like hey, what's up, John? They were doing a bunch of cash grabbing stuff. They kind of like undermined a lot of people. So Battlefront 2 got shit on like a lot, and like I would say like 2019.
But
hey, there you go. John asked the question, Brian.
What? Oh, what am I drinking? I am drinking some. I don't have any product placement here, but I'm drinking some Bombay, a little gin, and a little bit of club soda.
Microtransactions, that's right. And you know, Alex called it too. BF1 was really bad. Battlefield 1 and then Battlefield 2 wasn't any much better from the Battlefield 5 franchise. And then of course the drop of Battlefield 2042 that just happened, that promised a lot. And
but you're saying Battlefield. I'm talking about like Star Wars games.
Okay,
talking about Star Wars.
Okay, Star Wars.
Name one Star Wars game that's
Battlefront. The Battlefront 2 one that recently came out wasn't. The microtransactions is what killed a lot of this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, like it was really shunned upon because of the microtransactions.
Okay. Right.
Game wise, you can't go wrong because they just took the same. You just took the same concept as Battlefront Part 1, Battlefield or Battlefront or whatever it's called. You take the first one that was super fun to play, and
Fallen Order was fucking.
Now you see that's something crazy because it's crazy that Michael says that, because I've actually Trigger, he'll die on that mound too, man. That he says Fallen Order is really great.
I love it. I love that movie. I love that game.
I didn't get to play it. I think it was a good storytelling with the fact of it's talking about the story in between Order 66, right?
Yeah.
I think that's great. I thought that was
fantastic. That needs to be canon. I don't know.
He says he loves
it. It is.
Okay, so
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's canon, but that needs to be canon, and we need to see some of that.
Okay, it is canon. Cool. So the cool thing is Jedi Fallen Order #2 is one of the games that's in the making also right now. So that's another one that's being made, of course, with like a Star Wars Lego that's being made. Of course, I think Battlefront Part 3 they're gonna make, but my biggest thing is that I'm kind of disappointed with the story that's going to be coming out with Eclipse. It's only going to be solo play. When are we going to get a definitive multiplayer Star Wars game?
It's solo play, you said.
Yeah, solo play. It's only solo. Okay. It's not going to be multiplayer. It's not going to be like a co-op when are we going to finally get a great co-op multiplayer Star Wars game?
I don't know.
That would
I
be
don't know.
great,
I would
wouldn't it?
love it. No, I would love it. I would
Uh,
love it, to be honest with
but we
you.
are
But
looking at Eclipse being an open world. We're looking at it expanding a bunch of great story from what it says on the website. It's going to be chapters of different characters that it's going to be going through during the High Republic.
I'm gonna tell you like this: the first movie or the first show where I see Cal from the Fallen Order, I'm losing my shit.
Which one? Say that again.
I said, and the first movie or the first show where Cal Kestis,
Mm,
where he
that
comes
would be so
through,
fantastic.
I'm losing my shit.
Yo, what if we? Okay, by chance, what if we get Cal Kestis in a Ahsoka Tano show?
I told you,
I mean, it's pretty prominent.
I'm losing my shit.
Do you
I'm
think?
more excited. I'm more excited for him just because like I was so invested in that video game. Like I'm more invested in him than a lot of other prominent fucking Jedi. To be honest with you.
Okay,
For
so
some reason, I don't know why.
what he means by canon is because we're looking at the Fallen Order video game as being canon in the universe, because it is canon in the Star Wars franchise. It's just a different. So there is a huge possibility, which I think we're all hoping that they bring Cal's character into Ahsoka Tano or even into Boba Fett's film. But I think
Oh,
the
if he's
Boba
in
Fett would
Boba
be,
Fett's,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna pull that off. But if he finds his way into Boba Fett,
it'd
holy
be cool. I
shit!
mean, but the thing is you kind of feel that you could see it like story wise, him coming up in Ahsoka Tano. But that's why I think it would be better to have him in the Boba Fett storyline because you don't see that coming. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah,
Do you
okay, I
get
see
me?
it.
Like, I think it would
Yeah, I
make
see it.
for a more interesting storytelling because you're already assuming you're going to have a lot of the Jedi stuff in Ahsoka Tano show, but you're
Mhm.
you're not expecting any Jedi to show up in Mandalorian or in Boba Fett.
Mm.
So to get a guy like Cal, to get him to show up and him kind of reestablish the Jedi Order on what is it, Tatooine?
It's Tatooine, yeah.
Yeah, Tatooine, to get that establishment that he's around and he's kind of like the new sheriff in town. Boba's kind of portraying himself to be the new mob boss or whatever. And then you get a character like Cal come in and try to put an end to him or a stop to him or try to put it down. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna lose my shit,
It
Chris.
would be really fucking cool.
That first episode and that first show that we have after that,
You know what?
I'm
As
gonna
a
be
matter of fact,
lit.
really quick, let me get that
I'm
real
gonna be
fast. When
lit.
are we looking at the drop for Boba Fett?
It's like next week, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Book of Boba Fett debut release date. I just want to drop this real quick. December 29th. December
Okay.
29th. And then, dude, we also have fucking Spider-Man coming out.
Spider-Man's
What?
next week.
Next
Less than a week
week?
away. Less than a week away.
Jeez, man, it's so crazy. I gotta get to this real quick. Michael Betancourt says we still have the potential return, not the potential
Ezra.
return, the
No,
return, the
he's coming.
fucking
He's coming.
return of
He's
Ezra
coming.
and the remaining Phoenix team in the Ahsoka show.
He's coming.
We talked about it last week, I believe, that they already got Bo-Katan, or not Bo-Katan, they got Ren. They got the girl Ren, the Mandalorian chick from the show already.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they already have an actress that's playing her character.
Mhm.
We know that Thrawn will eventually make his entrance.
Ron's coming.
Which is, we're super fucking excited about
He's
that.
already been
Thrawn
called
is probably one of the most prominent villains in Star Wars in the last. Yeah, Sabine. Thrawn's probably one of the most prominent villains in the Star Wars universe in the last like 10 years. So for them to have not like a live action version of him already in the show, like it's fucking it's a crime. It's a
He's
crime.
coming.
So
He's coming.
yeah, so straight up, I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are. Which it sounds like it with everybody, with the way they're accepting the conversation right now.
A lot of engagement.
Man, Star Wars Eclipse looked amazing, guys. What did you think? What are your strategy? What are your theories about who the guy in the black is? Who the guy that's coming out of the water? That's my biggest concern.
I didn't realize.
I just want to see Chopper throwing joy. That's so funny.
Vince just asked a question that I didn't realize I needed. A Mandalorian game.
That would be interesting. You know what? Even having him appear in the next like Battlefront, like as a character, would be cool.
That would be fucking great. A Mandalorian game. That'd be
Oh,
great.
you know what? As a matter of fact, that also brings up a really good question because they did have the drop of the Suicide Squad game showing the Flash gameplay.
Oh, I did see
Did
that.
you
I
see
did
that,
see that.
right?
Yes, I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. Yeah.
But now we have the drop of them creating a Wonder Woman video game.
Yes.
Yeah, so like and
It
of course,
wasn't. I
this is
didn't
a
see.
teaser, right?
It was a teaser. It was a
Yeah, it's a
teaser. Yeah.
teaser. It looked gorgeous though.
It
Like
looked
the
great.
metal pieces, the leather, the
Looked
it's
great.
so crazy how far technology's come because I don't know if you all got the opportunity to see this or you, Brian, the Matrix demo that they
Yes.
dropped.
Yes.
Holy shit, that was amazing for the Unreal shit. So, dude, technology's come a long fucking way for the way video games is looking. What can we expect for a Wonder Woman video game?
I know that it's being made. Oh, I knew the company that was making it. And it escapes me now. Um, but it's a very prominent company. It's gonna be great. Oh, the same company. I don't know if you're familiar with like the Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, dude. Golem.
No,
The
but like the video game. Like fuck, dude. There. First off, if you've never played one of the Lord of the Rings like video games, do yourself a favor and just
and
download
check
it
them out, at least one of
and
them.
check them out. They're fucking great. But the same company that made those video games are making this Wonder Woman game, and it's gonna be great.
It looks fantastic. I'm not even gonna
It's gonna be
lie.
great, dude. There's
The
nobody
guys who
named
made Shadows of Mordor.
Yes,
Yeah,
Shadows of Mordor, and there's another one. There's a sequel to that. That they're both fucking amazing.
good
Both
shit.
of those games are fucking amazing. I think Shadow got like Game of the Year the year that it came out. Like
Oh
those
yeah, yeah.
games,
It was super prominent, man. Yeah, that game
those
was
games
amazing
are fucking amazing. I have them both right now. Like I play them
all the time.
recent all the time. I play both of them all the time.
You know
Even
what I
even to
wouldn't
this day.
mind seeing? I wouldn't mind seeing a Wonder Woman game kind of taking the role of like a God of War.
Okay.
Like that gritty of a game for Wonder Woman. I think it's the only way that it could be done. Like me personally. And the reason why is because Wonder Woman, her character, like, yes, it's a female, and you're expecting to see like this kind of like casual Spider-Man style shit. But like to know what her culture's like and to know what they're trying to portray as her people, you want to see it as like that gritty, Spartan, real violent, real hardcore kind of gameplay.
Let me ask you
Um,
can I ask you a question?
yeah, man. Yeah.
What's the over under on years of us getting a prominent Superman video game?
Shit. Okay, so a while back they did a really shitty Superman, which was the animated video game, and I
Yeah.
think that's the one that gave a lot of bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah.
Um, but if I'm not mistaken, you guys can check this out. There is a game online that someone created that is a literal Superman video game, and it is like Grand Theft Auto on crack. Like it is amazing. It is really, really good. And
Yeah.
it kind of puts into the forefront that we do think it's about time that we had a Superman game.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
decent
The only thing is like I mean the only problem with the Superman game is it's such overtold the story of Superman. You know what I mean? So like the only
one. I
thing would
don't
be
think
like
that's
a
the issue.
Brainiac would be the villain, right?
The issue wouldn't be the story, it would just be the gameplay. Give me some decent
The decent video game.
just give me decent gameplay and you're gonna have a massive hit on your hands.
Oh,
I
definitely.
don't know why everyone is so scared of having a Superman game. I don't know. I for the life of me, I
You know
can't.
what? I think it falls into the same realm as the Hulk video game, which is how do you portray power in a video game other than just destruction,
True.
right?
But
So like
you
there
gave me
was
you gave me a Batman game. You give me a Spider-Man game, which is fucking amazing.
yeah, but those are
You
easier to portray than a dude that can literally lift an entire island, dude. You know what I'm
I
saying?
guess I
Yeah,
don't know.
because the thing
I
is
don't
we had a Hulk game come out a while back where you could like literally punch buildings and they collapse,
Okay.
but then you're going around just killing people.
Well, that's the name of
Yeah,
the game.
that's just the through and through of it, right? Like you have to there has to be like different mechanics that are put in so that you portray the character of Superman correctly, right? Which is like a meter of good or bad, right? Which would be like an
Okay.
injustice level. So you're either a good Superman or you're a bad Superman, but then it takes away from the story of Superman. You know, it's the idea of like, why didn't they ever make a Man of Steel? Well, that's because he kills like 56,000 people in New York City, you know, or Metropolis or whatever. He literally murders everyone. It's hard to get the same values of Superman unless it's very path driven.
What would be harder, making a Flash video game or a Superman video game?
Superman. I think Flash would be fun as fuck if you do it like Grand Theft Auto.
I think it'd be harder to make a Flash video game than a Superman video game. Hell yeah.
Everything would just be like fucking bullet time. Everything would just be like super slow.
How are you gonna make them to a video game though?
There's a really fun game called, what is it? Super Flash, Super Hot, and it's a VR game. And like when you're standing there, everything is red and everybody's shooting at you. And the moment you move is when time starts. But if you like go super slow, it kind of like you can move at a slower rate and time moves exactly how you're moving. So like the idea of them fixating with like how time can be messed with, I think it's a lot easier than portraying a dude that can literally like, because you look at the Flash, like he just runs really fast. So you just got to slow time down prospectively around a character.
Okay.
But Superman can literally, just like in Justice League, lift an entire building and carry like the whole building away.
I would think that you're able to produce that more than someone that's just
that would be fucking cool though, man. I mean, if you could do like a super powerful character like that, it'd be super fun.
Yeah,
it'd be super fun. But yeah, like
getting back to the topic, we were talking about the Wonder Woman. But I'm saying if you're gonna give me a Wonder Woman video game, you should be able to be not that far behind with a
Superman
game.
Yeah. But of course, like I think what matters the most when it comes to a Wonder Woman story is the lore behind her character. But like all the Greek lore, the Amazonian lore.
It's so boring, dude. I hate
you think so?
It's boring.
Yeah. It's because other than that, there's not a lot of villains that Wonder Woman has that are so crazy. You know what I mean?
It's boring, dude.
Yeah, like I'm very particular because it's like the Thor. I don't know if you remember they did a Thor video game. Like as soon as like one of like I think Thor Part 1 came out.
Wait. We have a Thor game, but we can't have a Superman game. It's basically the same.
It's the same thing as Captain America, man. That's why you have an Avengers game. It's all of them put together in one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, that's why you have Justice League video games. But then again, that's what's really cool about the Suicide Squad movie is even though we don't have a badass Superman game, we're gonna make him a fucking villain. Yeah, and then we got to watch Harley Quinn beat him up with a fucking baseball bat.
At least try to. So that's the only thing, right? So they also had another trailer for the Suicide Squad game. And
it looks wild, like fun.
It looks wild. It looks wild. It just doesn't look how.
Okay, so first they like overpower the fuck out of these characters.
Yeah, it's like so I'm saying, like how?
Yeah. You know what? A lot of these games that are coming out, just like the Forsaken game, there's also Hellblade 2 that came out that looks fucking fantastic. They remind me of Infamous.
Okay.
Do you remember the Infamous storyline?
Yes.
Do you remember how like the guys like it's that third person kind of like if you look at the way Boomerang is moving, it's almost like identical to the way Infamous the video game plays.
Okay.
So, but is it a little bit better than the Arkham games? I think so.
Ooh.
I think the visuals are a lot cooler.
Easy.
No, I mean because the Arkham games are really great, man. Like they're fucking fantastic.
But that
gameplay looks fun.
Anybody in the chat and you, Chris, you give me a better superhero video game arc than Arkham. And I'll
just like in general?
In general.
Fuck, Max Payne?
Oh, that's a good one. Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I know games though, man, but like, you know, it's one of those things like
it's still not better than it's not better. It's not better.
Like Arkham
it's not better than Arkham though.
Yeah.
It's not better than Arkham. But Max Payne, what a great fucking counter. Fuck you, bro. That was good, yo.
Yeah.
That was good.
I mean, Arkham, I mean, it's universal. It's universally the best DC game because literally the only thing you got to fuck with is what the Injustice fighting game. I mean, the Arkham games are just through and through probably the best thing that DC's ever created.
Ever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% behind you with that. But we are looking at a whole new genre of games that are coming out from the DC world, and it looks like they're venturing into different platform-esque style games.
Yeah.
You know, of course, we have DC Universe Online, which of course has been one of the most prominent MMORPGs like on the market. It's been going on for years and years and years. It's super diverse with the expansion of the universe and the storytelling and all this stuff. They have their free to play and they have their pay to play and all this other stuff. But like straight up through and through, man, like Batman Arkham, the stories and all of that is just fucking amazing.
Highlight that, Mr. Betancourt.
Which one? Which is this last one?
That's a sleeper for a franchise, because like you have the Spider-Man, the Miles Morales, and then they're coming out with another one, right? That could be a really good franchise to compete with the Arkham. Like that's a really.
But you see, like I didn't want to bring up Marvel games. Like I wanted to kind of definitively leave them away because DC itself, like I think all of us can agree on this that DC does need to catch the fuck up.
Yeah,
like I think definitely Marvel, it's just they're constantly making things, they're constantly putting things out, they're constantly working. If we go back, definitively back in the day, DC made, of course, they made the fucking animated Superman game, which was garbage. And at that time, they were making the Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man games, which by the second one was already pretty amazing. You also had Shadows, the Web of Shadows. You had a lot of the games that introduced a lot of the multiverse. Marvel was already taking chances in making that big open world environment where the DC world started doing open world in the middle of the Arkham video games, where the first couple of games were very linear. You had a path that you had to follow. You had certain places you needed to go. While by the third game, it was open. You could fly around and do a bunch of crazy shit. So they were taking chances too. But like I said, like you only have the Batman Arkham games compared to Injustice. So the idea of us getting like the Suicide Squad from what it looks like and comparing it to Infamous, that's a really big jump. That's a huge jump with all the different these splash effects and all the particle effects of all the different you look at, I mean, just look at fucking the shark, what's the King Shark's attack when he slams on the ground? He gets like this whole Hulk explosion. You know what I mean? He gets like a fucking chain gun. You get Boomerang teleporting between different areas, and so I mean, it looks pretty fucking fun. You get Deadshot that's fucking flying and shooting a fucking
this game. I remember it was about a year ago where we got the teaser for the video game, and I was like, fuck yeah,
that looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good. Of course, you're gonna have to OP these characters to stand a chance with the Justice League, but I'm all for it.
I'm kind of excited for it because of the fact that we're finally going to see them throw the Justice League into the villain roles.
Yeah.
They sound to be more like in the script writing of the way the Injustice game is, with the shit talking that the Flash is doing in this one. It's really funny. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see fucking Superman flying around doing a bunch of crazy shit, kicking the shit out of everybody. It's gonna be wild, man.
That's my only problem. Is like that's the only first off, Superman he's the man. Like he's the fucking guy. There's no way you're gonna be able to tell me that anyone in the Suicide Squad has anything.
Tank his ass. Yeah,
it's like this. Like this. No, that's gonna be so hard. But anyway, we'll see. And we can move on to whatever else.
Yeah, we got a couple more times. Yeah, we got a little bit of time left. But yeah, there was a couple of games. Forsaken was another one that was really, really interesting. That was the one that was like, it's a girl from our timeline displaced into like the past, like Lord of the Rings, but she got like magical powers. The graphics look amazing. The gameplay looks cool. But the Senua Hellblade 2 trailer looks fucking wild, guys. If you get an opportunity, make sure you check out that trailer. It looks completely bonkers. Completely bonkers. But let's see what we got going on next. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So we have about 20 minutes left, max, maybe 15-20 minutes. Everybody in the comments, tell us what you guys thought, because we're kind of at ends about this. Uh,
This is gonna be
the
great.
recent
Next
Hawkeye
20
episode
minutes.
that just came out, Disney Plus Hawkeye series, Kate Bishop, Clint Barton, and the introduction of Echo
Yelena and
and
Echo.
Yelena, right?
Yeah,
And we just had
a
the
lot of
introduction of
introductions. Yep.
the new Black Widow. Just made her first legal appearance as Black Widow in the Hawkeye television show. Um, First, I'd like to just get at least one or two people in the comment section just to give me their point of view on it, because me and Brian have ours, and it's wild. Well, yeah, okay, there we go. We got John saying that
You
he
liked
likes it
it.
so
You
far.
liked
Okay,
it.
good
Okay.
shit, good shit.
That's like the
Uh,
consensus. A lot of people
Robert,
like
of
this.
course. I mean, Robert's in the chat with us, so we get to
Oh
kind of
yeah,
chat about it.
we know how Rob feels. Yeah,
Yeah,
we know
yeah.
how Rob feels.
If anybody else is out there, if you've seen the Hawkeye episode, I believe it's episode 4. We have 2 more episodes left. Let us know. Michael Betancourt says, I'm enjoying watching the show, but watching it from a different lens. I like to see. I like to know what you mean.
Yeah, I need some type of
I need
expound.
elaboration on that. So Brian, I'll ask you first,
Yes,
since I
sir.
beat you to the microphone on this one.
Yes, you did. So I was gonna ask you first. Yeah, guys.
What was your take on episode 4, Hawkeye? What was your initial reaction? Just overall, yeah.
Yeah. So
What do you feel?
this episode was a letdown for me, to say the least. Like, that's putting it nicely. I'm enjoying this series, but this episode I didn't need. I feel as though this episode was a filler episode. And being that we only have 6 episodes, I don't need necessarily a filler
A
episode.
filler episode.
I don't need that. Like, I need you. Anyone that's listening, anyone that's commenting right now in the chat, there are a plethora of questions that we all have.
I was just about to say that too.
Like, we have so many questions that we need answered, and they're not gonna get answered in the next 2 episodes. Let's just call a spade a spade. It is what it is. This series has done a great job building you up to a bunch of questions that we're not going to get the answers to in this season. So, spoiler alert: we're getting another season.
No, oh yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
I can see that coming, but I don't think it's going to be officially like a Hawkeye season. I think the second season is literally going to be the Echo season.
That's fine. But pertaining to this episode, I wanted to like it. I watched like 3 times. I wanted to like it. But you just spent so much time giving me backstory shit to shit that we already knew. We already knew like that shit. You didn't even expound on the backstory that we thought we knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't make any sense. And then like the last 10 minutes of you showing Yelena and her having a 4-way battle or a 3-way battle, that's not gonna save the show for me. How about you though? What did you feel about the show?
Okay, so out of all the episodes so far, this one's been the funnest one, but the least informative one. Okay. It was fun because we got a really cool action sequence, right? Which was the fight scene itself. Having Yelena come in and start throwing down, start pumping people was really cool. Seeing her come in and interact with all the characters in a fighting thing, the fighting looked great. The idea of seeing what the tasing shockers that she has can do in the other movie compared to what they do in this movie.
Nerfed.
Yeah, they got nerfed. It got nerfed. Crazy.
The widow's bite got nerfed.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that kind of caught my eye, right? Which is one, Clint Barton is supposed to be one of the most secretive characters in the Marvel universe. Really, really intelligent. In fact, Tony Stark, the smartest dude in the Marvel universe, after hacking S.H.I.E.L.D., didn't know he had a kid and family. But apparently, Echo, who works for the tracksuit mafia or whatever, was able to find out his entire family. Like, I was kind of like, wait, what? How did she figure this out so fast? I was a little disappointed. the snake, the Black Widow bite, the fangs. You know, Hawkeye takes it to the throat.
Ate
Echo
it.
takes it to the chest.
Ate it.
Uh, they just kind of like. I mean, but then again, you called it too when you were like, "Yo, did that chick just
Echo.
take an arrow to the chest and she just wiped that off?"
Echo took an arrow to the fucking shoulder and ate that
Yeah,
shit.
she just literally took it off and just ran off.
It just ran
Um,
off.
there's some parts of me that are kind of like iffy. I did. I think Yelena is starting to look a lot more like the hero of Black Widow. Like she, you know, when she takes off the mask and the lighting's on her, she looked fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But then Kate has her in her sights, and then she kind of like tells her no, and Kate's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Like, all right, you said no. I guess I
I had
shouldn't
a
fire."
really big problem with that. Like
Yeah,
that.
that
What
didn't
the
make a lot of
fuck
sense to
was
me.
that?
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me. It didn't
I
make
was
sense to
just
me at all.
fighting you to the death, damn near. You threw me off of a building. Now I have an arrow to your face, and you just shake your head no.
Mm.
And now I'm hesitant.
Yeah, and then
So
she
what
like,
I think, what I do think that this episode, now again, I watched it 3 times.
yeah,
There were a lot of parallels in this episode. So at one point there was a conversation where Clint said there was a shot, his best shot was the one that he never took, right? His best shot was the one he never took.
hmm
It's kind of correlating to Yelena and Kate, where she had her dead in her shots
and she didn't take it because he's
and she
giving her the
didn't take
chance.
it.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, I guess I wouldn't.
So
I've never thought of that.
there's correlation all over the place in this episode, and it's cool. I dig it, but I don't know,
But
dude.
but then
I don't
again,
know. It doesn't make sense.
this goes off of the idea of them cheapening the Hawkeye character, right? I'm highlighting what Michael Betancourt's saying because he is giving us a good explanation of how he sees it. He talks about how he went through a divorce not too long ago, so seeing Clint as a father trying to juggle everything, helping Kate while missing his kids, it hits him in the heart, right? It totally makes sense. The human side of him is something else for me, which is where I think the filler episodes mattered for me. You know, it kind of shows the human nature of him when he's icing his wounds, and then there's the whole entire the montage of them kind of hanging out and eating pizza and all of this stuff. You know that there's a really heartfelt parts, and I 100% agree with you with that. What my biggest concern is when they established Hawkeye as a character, Clint Barton. You know, they established it in the original what is it, Thor movie or Avengers movie, where he gets
Yeah.
the hammer and he's over the top, and the doctor is Dr. Selvig's like, oh, the Hawkeye, he's up in his nest watching everything. They
Yeah.
establish all this stuff, and then you have him by himself dismantle the entire Avengers roster in the Avengers original movie, right? Only to know that he's going to be replaced by a girl that's good at archery, that could do some gymnastics and took like some karate lessons and just taught her how to flip a coin.
I
And you're
disagree
going
with
to
you.
fit her taking over Hawkeye's position by the ending of the next 2 episodes of her just doing that as their montage of work together.
I
It
disagree with
cheapens
you.
the character of the skill level of what Hawkeye really is.
I
That's in my
honestly,
opinion.
I honestly think like the writing was good up until this
That's a good point.
episode.
Yeah.
Honestly, the trauma that Hawkeye
Oh,
is going
dude,
through
it's
with his
amazing.
with his family, with Natasha, with trying to deal with all that and then still deal with annoying ass fucking Kate Bishop.
Okay, Bishop.
Dude, it's
It's great.
fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
he's doing a
It's
good. Yeah.
great. Like
Jeremy Renner's doing an amazing job.
Jeremy Renner is doing a phenomenal job. He's doing a great job. I think it's a huge disservice to only give him 6 episodes to tell him so like there's so much going on. I hate the fact that he is put in a situation where one of his biggest supporters, myself, has to say that I'm kind of bailing on this show because they're they're cramming everything in 6 episodes.
6 episodes.
Like it needs to be longer.
Yeah.
Like
You can feel it.
he needs more time
Yeah.
to get out whatever the fuck is there. Like you can watch it and tell it. Like there just needs to be more time.
Yeah.
And maybe you guys in the comments may feel differently, but like I just feel though with the next 2 episodes that are left, they're gonna just cram a lot of shit in our face in the next 2 episodes, and I don't think it's gonna translate really well.
Okay,
Personally,
before anybody puts it out there, I 100% do not agree with the theory that the wife is Mockingbird.
yes, I believe that. I believe
don't.
that.
Because
I'm
it's
on
like you
board.
just said right now. There's way
I'm
too
on
much for
board.
them to cram into the show. So for them to try to add Mockingbird
The
without a
whole show
backstory,
was that way. The
but
whole show was that way, though.
but they're going to
The whole
introduce
show.
Mockingbird without a backstory by just being like, oh, Mockingbird, you know, that one character that literally helped save Spider-Man's
You
entire world.
you have one
Uh,
episode. You have one episode of Echo. You have one episode of her backstory. That's it. We don't know shit about Echo. We know nothing about her, dude.
Oh yeah, I still don't.
We don't know shit about
Yeah,
Echo.
I just know she's an amputee and she's deaf, and that's
And
about
she's
it.
badass. And she's
Yeah,
badass.
and she can apparently
and she takes arrows to the shoulder.
Yeah, she take arrows to the shoulder and tank
That's
a Black
it.
Widow.
That's all that we know. And she can tank a black. Like how? How do you nerf? Explain to me how do you nerf a Black Widow? How does that happen?
So my theory behind the tanking part, I think it's bad writing, but I do think it's because of the fact that Yelena is not being played by that other character that told her to go and kill Hawkeye.
What does that mean?
I think she wants to investigate. She will attempt to do her job to see how Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton reacts
By
to
beating
being
his
attacked.
ass?
Well, that's the thing is because if you think of the way that she was fighting, she was very reserved.
No, she was.
She wasn't trying to kill him. You know, when she hits him in the neck when he rips his
Or
mask off, she could have killed him.
Or Kate.
Yeah, or Kate. Yeah,
Kate.
so I do think that there's like she's kind of testing the waters because he's noticing, well, if he killed Black Widow, why is he training another little girl?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's like, well, I want to see what's going on, and I'm not going to really hurt anybody. I'm just going to kind of see what's up. Because in the middle of him fighting Black Widow, he's literally having a conversation with Kate. Like, oh, I'm fighting someone over here too. You're fighting someone cool? Whoa, man. I thought I was fighting. Like they're just conversing while he's fighting someone that's trying to kill him.
Yeah.
But then in the process, like it doesn't look like she's trying to kill him at all. It just looks like she's trying to just maim him or beat the shit out of him just to kind of put him down a little bit.
And honestly, that was my biggest problem with the whole
episode
scene.
Yeah.
No, that's the episode, which is that
just
scene.
the part.
Is that's a Black Widow, dude. You nerfed her.
Yeah.
A Black Widow. From the widow's bite to her just
I think she's going to take into consideration that she remembers that what Black Widow told her, like that they were that close and that he helped her, so that she doesn't really coincide the idea that this dude's going to kill her. So she just wants to know the truth.
Okay.
And that's why, like in the trailers, you see her very chill. They throw like sriracha at her and she's like, hi, or whatever. Like, I'm really excited to see Yelena come out because she's a good actress and she plays the character very well. And she's sarcastic enough that it brings enough comedy.
So then why not leave this episode with that? Why not leave this episode with her exposing her face, introducing herself to Hawkeye and Kate?
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna act like I know what the writers are thinking.
But I'm saying like that would just seem logical.
That's a bad move.
You said it. But now she just dips, and now we got to spend a whole nother episode of Clint introducing himself to Yelena, and then another filler episode.
I mean, the thing is like, I the only reason why I could see why they did that was to raise the fear of like, oh, a Black Widow assassin is going to kill him or whatever, but it didn't feel that way.
But it doesn't, because we
doesn't feel that way though.
Because we know she is not going to kill Clint. We know that.
Yeah, we know that 100%. She would have killed him.
We know that.
She would have killed him when she hit him in the neck with the stunning one. Yeah.
So we know she's not there to kill him, and we know that there was never a threat. Even at the end of Black Widow, we knew that there was never a threat. At least I did. There was never a threat of Yelena killing Clint. At the end of the day, they're gonna figure it out, and they're gonna be on the same team. So, like, what are we doing? We're nerfing Black Widows now. That's what we're doing.
Black Widow just to kind of get. I think it's just for the wow factor, right? I think it's a really cheese move that Marvel did that. I really like the way she jumps off the building though. That was fucking boss as shit. Like the way she like jumped and she was like, "What's up, bitches? Bye." Like she just fucking
No,
like doped
no,
out.
the whole last 10 minutes of it was boss. But you can't give me the last 10 minutes of great fight sequences and cover a whole fucking episode of bullshit.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Um, so we did give people the idea of what's going on in the sense of like raising some ideas about the watch, right? So
I listen.
I personally
What's your take?
I don't know, man. Like I think it's a good move for them to bring up some kind of like some kind of Deus Ex Machina kind of like a idea of something, but like I think it's way too big of a character to kind of be like, yo, let's bring in someone last 2 episodes when we're about to drop who Black Widow is and get them to get along. You know what I mean? So
That's
for
the
them
whole
to
point.
establish like a Mockingbird would be like fucking Mockingbird, what? Mockingbird's here, like, and then
Nobody knows. Nobody knows who the fuck
exactly. And the
Mockingbird
thing is Mockingbird is supposed to be the equivalent of Shield's version of the Black Widow. You know what I mean? Which I mean, yeah, would correlate the idea of why Natasha gets along with the wife so well. But the thing is the wife was just always cool with fucking what's his face to begin with, Nick Fury. I really think it shows purpose of my thing is it's just Nick Fury. They're protecting Nick Fury
I
because
want
he faked
theories.
his
I
death.
want theories in the comments.
I'm gonna drop one. I'm gonna drop one real quick.
Whose watches it? Go ahead.
The reason why I think it's Nick Fury's is because it's still active. It still correlates with being able to get into all of Shield's directories and classified information because it's kind of like ways to get in, like little keys or whatever. But the thing is what Nick Fury did in the comic books was he faked his death because he knew the secret invasion with the Skrulls were coming. So like that's and it just correlates that he faked his death in this thing right when they introduced the characters of the Skrulls. And then of course we had Captain Marvel, but the problem was that movie, it made the Skrulls fun. Yeah. It made them friendly, it made them immigrants or whatever the fucking purpose was behind it, whatever the shit ass content was behind it.
But I think Secret Invasion is gonna like change that. Like that's gonna.
Well, what they're gonna do is they're gonna have to initiate the idea of the Queen. Yeah. They're gonna bring in the Queen Skrull, who's like, well, fuck humans. I want a planet of my own.
Of course.
And then that's when you're gonna get your evil variations. But what sucks is that the main Skrull that comes out in Captain Marvel was one of the Queen's like major henchmen. So they did fucking, take that they neutered his character, right? Yeah. So that's the only thing is that it's protecting Nick Fury from being found out that he's still alive and he's in space with Sword. Mm-hmm. Could it work? Maybe Nick Fury's like out of the question, and they're protecting and Fury and Clint and his wife are always about protecting Nick Fury. I could see that. The Mockingbird one, I think it's a genius idea. I think it's cool for them to be like, look, the wife is actually someone. She's a character. She is someone. But then I think it's like too fast. I don't think they have enough to really like set it into stone.
This whole show is fast. That's why I'm not. That's the reason why I'm
about that.
That's the reason why I'm so on board with it. It's because it's on par.
Because remember, the idea is like in the next 2 episodes. I mean, I've already seen it once here.
That Kingpin. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert.
Theory of what
theory. What do we have?
Fucking Vincent D'Onofrio is supposed to make an appearance and make his appearance as fucking Kingpin
in the next episode.
In the next 2 episodes, in the next 2 40-minute episodes, you're supposed to get this fucking phenom of an actor just pop up like Yelena did the other day.
And not only a phenom of an actor, but as a character in the MCU and what his significance is in the MCU. You're getting him in the MCU in the next 2 episodes, and you haven't done explaining the parents, anything really, honestly, with Yelena. There's nothing with Yelena. The uncle that died, the parents. Did I already say the parents? I'll say the parents again. I'll say the parents again because, like, we have no idea what the fuck
because you have the Swordman who's in charge of the Circus of Evil, who in the comic book is connected to Kaz because he's the guy that's in charge of the Swordsman, or the Swordsman charge. You have them all controlled by the ringmaster, which is the psychic guy, this telepath. But you have Kaz, who works with the uncle of Echo, who is Kingpin,
Kingpin.
who they still haven't given confirmation, except recently Kevin Feige's like, yeah, dude, Charlie Cox would definitely be our
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
But 100% they have not given you confirmation that any of the fucking Netflix series are canon. So if Vincent Garofalo shows up as Kingpin, 100%, all of that motherfucking shit's canon in the MCU. So then from there, Charlie Cox.
I think subconsciously, that's what we're all waiting for.
But yeah, that's the same thing
It's
as the
for that
fucking three Spider-Men.
Because
That's the
listen,
same shit as the three Spider-Men.
bro,
Like we're waiting just for them to be like, I knew it. Like I knew it.
once I get Kingpin, I'm counting the days until I get fucking Punisher.
But yeah, you see, because those are the things we're waiting for. But you don't want the fucking Iron Fist.
True.
Dude, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'll take him. I'll take him.
He better learn some fucking. He better take some kung fu lessons at the local Y or some shit.
Listen, I'll take him if it leads to me getting Punisher. Listen, that's my end game. Punisher, and Ghost Rider. Those are my two. And Blade. Those are my three. I want those three in the MCU, and I'll be content. You can give me whatever characters you want in between. That's cool. But as long as you give me those three, I'm good.
My biggest thing is I think if you were to have something of that magnitude come into the MCU, it wouldn't be on a throwaway episode like Hawkeye. Not as just one 40-minute episode. It would be something like in a film, like the way they were talking about bringing Daredevil into the Spider-Man film. Mm-hmm. What a fucking cameo. How many people are literally watching Hawkeye for Vincent Garofalo to show up as Kingpin and unite the Netflix series with the MCU right now?
So
and then Mockingbird, and then Yelena, and then fucking A Watch with Nick Fury, and the mom being connected to the Kingpin, and the dad being sword fucking master, and then the real dad having a whole fucking like it's wild to have 2 episodes left.
And then to add to that, I don't know if you saw the new Spider-Man trailer or the cut that was the cut of like the first scene where he's swinging through Manhattan.
Yeah.
Where he swings through a lighted billboard or a digital billboard that was promoting the Steve Rogers.
Oh, the fucking musical. Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
So now we have Hawkeye and Spider-Man correlating
with each other in some way, right? God damn.
Yeah, they're not fucking around. And this is what I was saying to you weeks ago. I don't think we can even comprehend. And this is the first time that I thought about it. Like weeks ago, I don't think we can comprehend how
greatest thing ever.
How big this shit is about to get.
It's the greatest thing ever. Your reaction to that thing.
I'm telling you, yes, it's fucking great.
When you got all mad at us for not telling you,
I got mad. No, I got mad. I'm telling you, and I said it. I'm like, listen,
Brian got really upset with us because we didn't tell him that the voice that came out at the end was Blade. It totally surprised the shit out of him. That was the funniest fucking reaction ever, dude.
I had to find out through the trades, and I'm like, you motherfuckers knew. And
we definitely knew.
Slowly but surely, I got the trickles of yes. Oh yeah, I knew. Fuck you guys.
Fuck yeah, but it was good. It was a good spoiler though. It was a hell of a thing not to spoil. What a fucking. My thing is going back to the idea of the Kingpin shit. Like I really just think that you're right. I think there's a lot of information that's going to be given in the next 2 episodes that is going to be a little bit too much, but that could make this like one of the craziest fucking series that Marvel's put out, because like we said, Jeremy Renner has been doing an amazing job as for this show because of all the turmoil and all the stuff that he's portraying on film for his character. But what do we do with the next season? What do we do? What does it lead up to? How is so right now, how are we going to get an Echo Disney show from this?
I told you. I think
that's the
my
most
theory,
confusing thing that I have right now.
My theory is we're gonna find out that it's not Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye being responsible, as the Ronin for the death of her father.
Okay,
I
so
think, and
anybody in the
then
comments.
and so that's another thing. We're gonna have to find that out in this season because the next thing from this season is her show. So that's another thing that we have to add to what needs to get done in the next two episodes.
So that's the thing is if Michael Betancourt brings up a really good part about the comic is that Echo becomes Ronin.
Okay.
So what if ending of the season it comes out, Barton comes out and says, "I'm Ronin, but I didn't kill your father."
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that was Barton killing
No,
her father?
no,
Okay.
100%. I don't. I think it was Kazi.
Okay.
I think it was Kazi. I think it was a setup,
Yeah. Okay.
and it's just that whoever the uncle is, Kingpin, needed to give her a target because he knows what she's capable of doing.
Yeah.
My guess is it's Kazi, or even better than that. Oh, that's cool. He thinks it's the swordsman.
There we go.
But the thing is the swordsman's like
That's
the West.
my guess.
He's the worst Avenger ever.
That's my guess.
You got to remember the swordsman is like casually a villain, but he's also a hero. Mine is that it's Bullseye.
Oof.
Yeah, because that will tie her into Daredevil.
Like the Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
Bullseye?
Well, I mean, of course, you're going to look at the Bullseye from the Daredevil TV show from Netflix. Because remember, we did have Daredevil come out at the very end of the Daredevil series, the Netflix series. I think that Bullseye is going to be the Ronin that killed her father. And Bullseye will then tie her into her meeting Charlie Cox, Daredevil, and that'll get her into the Daredevil series and bring him involved in her show. So we'll get Charlie Cox, prominent Daredevil, in Ronin's or in Echo's Kingpin kind of thing because they have a romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, her and Charlie Cox's thing. Yeah, you see Michael Betancourt, Bullseye sent by Uncle Fisk, yeah, to kill to give her a target to make her more of a prominent killer. They just wanted to get rid of it. So that means in some weird way. But the thing is a lot of people aren't saying this, but it needs to be said. The tracksuit guys are literally going for the watch. Like,
no, I'm telling
they're
you
prominently
again,
hunting for the watch. Kazi is literally
again. That's another thing. Like that's honestly that's the main focus of the whole show is the watch. If you think about it, it's the watch. The watch is the main focus of the whole show, but we don't. That's not defined. The writing of this is so weird.
So my thing
It's
was
so
because
weird.
in one of the scenes of the watch, it's red. What if the watch actually belongs to Charlie Cox's Daredevil and they're protecting Daredevil?
I molded. I was thinking about it. I don't think that's.
I mean, it's really far fetched. It's a real far fetched theory. Like, because I mean, how would that chick find out Clint Barton's family just because of the watch, right?
And why would
be connected to Daredevil?
And why would Hawkeye care so much about it? Like why the fuck?
Well,
would
that's
he
the
care?
thing is if they knew, if Fury knew, because if okay,
I listen before you answer.
Yeah,
I always relate back to that. Why would Hawkeye care so much? That's the reason why I'm on board with it being his wife's, because that gives him a reason to care. If you name anybody else, he won't give a fuck.
If Netflix series is canon, then Fury knows Punisher, and Punisher owes everything to Nick Fury. In fact, no, because there is a huge theory which the directors, the Russo brothers, did not say it wasn't. But in the Winter Soldier movie, there is a UPS truck or a FedEx truck that slams through a bunch of cop cars.
Okay.
And it was a theory that someone brought up at a convention and said, was that the Punisher saving Nick Fury? And the brothers came out and said, we are not denying that. So there's a possibility that the Punisher saved Nick Fury during the Winter Soldier interaction with the cops because he always has Nick Fury's back. In the comic books, when Nick Fury's in trouble, the Punisher always shows up to back him up.
That's
always.
cool. That's cool.
In some way, the Punisher knows Nick Fury, and if it's canon, then the Punisher knows who Daredevil is, who then knows Fury, and Daredevil will be telling, so there is a possibility that Nick Fury knew who Daredevil was, or at least knew that the lawyer Charlie Cox was playing a superhero and is protecting him, protecting his identity. And who would want that watch? Kingpin.
Okay. So I was following you with your Daredevil conspiracy theory
Yeah,
because
I mean it's a shot in the
we
dark, but
we were talking about it behind the scenes,
yeah.
and I was following with you until you got to the whole point where you're kind of villain, you're kind of turning Echo into a villain because she's chasing Daredevil. When it comes to Disney, you have good and bad.
Mhm.
Very rarely do you have an in between. So it's like if you're gonna give Echo her own
Series.
TV show, she's gonna be a good guy. She's not gonna be in between anti-hero. She's not gonna be. She's gonna be a fucking hero. So I can't see her. I can't see her taking a mission from Uncle Fisk and and trying to track down Daredevil, who could probably beat her ass anyway. Like I don't
Well,
see that being a thing.
again, there if it all comes through in the next 2 episodes with Kingpin, then you have Daredevil and Punisher both canon. That's Disney now. So you can get that gritty with these shows now.
No, we
Because if
can't.
they're gonna bring in the Punisher, which Punisher would you want?
No, we can't, because there is no way Disney can have any type of iteration. Did you watch the Punisher Netflix series?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I did. That was impressive, man.
How was that going to correlate to what we're seeing right now in Disney?
Well, the thing is Disney removes itself as a property and lets Marvel kind of run its own thing without it putting Disney as a cover title,
I
which it
have the
hasn't done in a while.
I have
So
the
none of
answer.
this is basing off of Disney.
I have the answer.
What?
Hulu.
Oh fuck Hulu, man. Hulu's bad right now. It doesn't got anything on it, man. But then again,
And
Modoc,
that's the reason.
Runaway, all of those shows are on it right now. That's a good
Where do
point.
you Hulu is going to be the answer.
Yeah, I mean that could be where it puts all its rated R stuff. Is that what you mean?
All your rated R shit
Goes on
is
Hulu.
going to go on Hulu.
Shit, I think that might be that's a good point. It's a hell of a point.
There you go.
But yeah, then you would have Echo being the first Hulu rated
Deadpool,
R television show or whatnot.
Deadpool, Punisher,
All of
all
it.
that shit.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, yeah,
All
I
your
can see
rated
that.
R shit, put it on fucking Hulu. That takes the accountability off of Disney, because if you don't realize, Disney owns it, but if you don't fucking know that shit.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. That's an impressive call, man. Hulu would be the place to put that kind of stuff. Yeah, guys, what do you think? Do you think in the Echo series that's coming up with Disney, do you think they would go rated R, bringing in the aspect of them issuing the Netflix series of Daredevil and the Punisher and all that grittiness
Mhm.
coming to Disney? Or do you think that they will take those characters and put them somewhere else where the grittiness is kind of more acceptable? Because that's a really good fucking question. Um, yeah, that was a really good conversation. So
Hell yeah.
right now, how would you rate the last episode of Hawkeye, and what can we consider
Oh,
for the last 2 episodes coming up? What can we theorize that's going to happen? What are our major talking points?
all right. If we're at
Oh, look at what Michael Betancourt said.
Insider marketing did a red adult section. Yeah, no, I mean, yes, I did hear that as well.
Yeah, that's a good
That they
point.
were thinking about an adult section of Disney, but they have an adult section already built in Hulu.
Yeah, like it's a good point
They
too.
had it.
The Hulu market is interesting.
They
Yeah,
had it. Like they don't need to think too much into it, but we'll see. Rating this a scale of Hawkeye,
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
Yeah, we'll make
I'll
it simple.
give it. I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3 so far. It would have been a 4 if it wasn't for the last episode. I do enjoy this. I do enjoy the series, but the last episode kind of took me out of it. But what about yourself?
Yeah, I'd probably say about the same thing. About a 3 right now. The last episode, it was okay. It's more of me. It's I don't see how Kate Bishop's going to take over Hawkeye's position with not having the skills prominent to be
We
an Avenger itself.
we don't know shit,
Yeah.
bro.
All
We don't
all
know
we know
anything,
is she could jump around a little bit and do some parkour shit.
and she's cool
She got tanked by a couple of dudes in the
in the
tracksuit.
parking lot. Yeah,
Yeah. And she just learned how to bottle cap a coin to turn off a television, and that's going to correlate to everything that Hawkeye's ever done for the Avengers, which is he once almost like soloed Vision, like outsmarted him at least a little bit. I wouldn't see Kate Bishop soloing Vision right now, or
I
at least
want more. I want more of Barton's trauma. That's a story.
yeah, that looks really good.
That's a
Yeah,
story.
that looks
Dude.
really good.
Like that is a story. He can't fucking hear. Every time he takes off his fucking hearing aid, he just has flashbacks of the trauma that he.
Trauma.
That's a story, dude. That's a story.
That would be that is something. If we can get a little bit more of that in the next 2 episodes, that'd be really great. Like, you know what? Actually, to get a really nice like interaction between him and Yelena, like a really heartfelt.
Oh no, we're getting it.
I really, really hope so, because if they mess
I
that up,
I shared it in the group chat on Facebook.
Yeah.
Some of the dialogue. There's going to be a lot of dialogue between Clint and Yelena within the next.
I think I need that right now for the
2 episodes.
I need that for the kind of like that full circle for the Black Widow ending.
Yeah.
Since she wasn't really remorsed in any of the movies, we got her movie at the end. No one really gave a shit about her. Like,
no one
like
did.
I need that. I need to know that someone remorsed it. Like, and not just Hawkeye. Like, I need to see them come together and mourn her death a little bit.
Of course,
that's what I really need.
Yeah.
But hopefully we get it, guys. What did you think of the Hawkeye?
Yes, drop it
right now. What are you guys thinking about it? How do you guys think about it? Are you guys digging it? What are your expectations for the next 2 episodes? Guys, leave us a comment in the chat. What are you excited for the Gamers Expo? And were you cool with the choices for the People Choice Awards? Guys, leave us a comment in the comment section. Hit us up. Let us know. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about or cover during the week, don't be afraid to hit us up during the Facebook.
Hell yeah.
Don't be afraid to send us a message. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much to our extraordinary listeners for tuning in. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in with us and hanging out with us again. We'll see you guys again next Friday. Here every Friday on Facebook Live, 9 p.m. all the way to almost midnight. Jesus Christ, are we fucking doers, bro? We are growers, not showers. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys again next Friday here on the Average Voice Podcast. Don't forget to catch Brian also on Gym Class Majors. Yes, Gym Class Majors. Guys, don't forget to hit them up. Gym Class Majors.
Of course.
Good shit. Shout out to our boy D. Hit us up. We'll see you guys later next week. Here again next Friday. Laters.
Peace.